I was addicted to Pentazocine.
I started off with marijuana and I graduated to crack cocaine, heroin. I did drugs like PSP, angel dust. I did a lot of pills and I used to play with Fela Anikulapo Kuti. I played with that band for like 14, 15 years. I started with guitar and ended up with piano.
My name is Abraham Okodugha.
My name is Keji Hamilton.
And by the grace of God, I have been 4 years clean, recovering from 8 years of addiction that almost ruined my life. Not almost, ruined my life, but did not succeed taking my life. I was addicted to Pentazocine. Pentazocine is a painkiller. It's mostly used for sickle cell, ulcer patients, surgery patients. But like you know, pharmaceutical drugs are being abused on a constant basis. Like retinol is a pharmaceutical drug. Codeine is.
It was this drug that took me to the extreme of life. If I was told it will ever happen, I would say...
When I go, I'll buy syringe, I'll buy 2 mil needle, understand, and I'll buy... I used to buy little portion by portion before, but at some point I started buying a pack. Because I just felt the stress of always going to and fro. So
I finished playing that night. He said, let's go. We checked into a hotel, Benite Hotel, and put his hand in his suit's pocket and brought out one creamish powder. And he said, this is cocaine. I said, yeah, let's smoke. He said, no. I'm going to teach you how to cook it.
So I injected this hand until you can see all here. Until all the flesh.
Bone.
Yeah, this is my bone. There is no flesh.
Oh my
here.
God.
All the muscles and this that were here have all gone out. Understand? So you can tap and see that it's just bone that is here now. Unlike here. Sure.
Oh my God, I can't tap. I'm sorry.
There's no all the flesh here is gone. So I inject. So when I found out that there was no more, my bones were already showing and no healthy tissues were coming out and all, I stopped injecting and I went to my leg.
Yeah.
Your leg?
Yes, that was the next place. That was the next place I found it.
Jesus Christ.
So injecting my leg. Inject and here. This one said decaying.
You went to the...
Yes.
Oh.
You took the second leg as well?
This one's FCD recover. As I'm talking to you now, I'm partially disabled. The second one is worse. It's almost still covering.
It's still bandaged. Oh.
It's been how long now? 4 years?
Now, the interesting thing, yes, it's been 4 years.
And
when I did
like
skin grafting, because they took flesh from my laps here.
To cover it.
To cover it. You can see all here that is black.
Welcome to the Honest Bunch podcast. Thank you so much for your support. We are super grateful. Before I even talk anything, I just let you know, say, that previous episode is still a shake everywhere. Yes, the one that featured you, Ledoche. Just in case you never see him, watch this one till the end. Go back, go watch him, because what they call nuggets and gems is full that particular episode. We promise, say, now impactful and relatable matter now we go discuss. Now why the one who carry come today, it go shake the whole world. But before I proceed, information that can help you. CDK. If you want to buy your gadgets, your appliances, now CDK, now it go run out for you. Now they have a plan that allows you to pay in installments. That's what I mean say you go to pay sumo. At the midpoint of your installment, they go carry the thing, can't give you. So why stress yourself? Go to the market where they go to draw your shirts. They go to call you, my color. Nah, one day. You go just buy them from a house. CDK go carry and can't give you in perfect condition. And then you go add one single naira. So don't stress yourself. Go the CDK way and see the care that they will show you. Ladies and gentlemen, introduction of the amazing trio. Let me begin first with the beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous, ebony skinned, hazel eyes, Gen Z baby. She said, if una call her pick me, she not feel anyway because she is beautiful and she can be picked. The one and only T.I.
Fine, get your body.
Oh, yeah, now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's in her body era. She has the fear of God. She has the unction to function. She carries the fire of the Holy Spirit. And anywhere she steps into, there's a reverberation. The one and the only. Win one, light has come. www.asankpokoto.com. by the special grace of God, incoming one of Abia State. Zidi Posh, Nzine Mama.
Isokwa clocky.
In your body era. Yours truly, Ezugu Chukudi, aka Husband Material. Please follow me on Instagram, Husband Material _HM. Let's take me to 100,000 this year. Ladies and gentlemen, on this episode, we're going to discuss a very important subject. And this subject affects millions of lives. Now, Nigeria has a thriving young population. And these young people are the future of our great nation. If these young people go astray, this country don't finish, pata pata. And it gets one epidemic, one pandemic, one thing when we say it eats deep into our society. Some people still they form, some people still they hide, some people still they package. But we get 2 ministers today when don't come out to tell their story, and you definitely learn. I want to beg you, please watch this episode until the end, because this episode might change your life or might change the life of somebody that is very close to you. So our guest would allow you to introduce yourself, beginning with you, sir.
My name is Keji Hamilton, and I am a substance use therapist. And I used to play with Fela Anikulapo Kuti. I played with that band for like 14, 15 years. I started with guitar and ended up with piano. That's who I am right now. And I'm also a preacher. I'm a pastor of Tabernacle of Prayer Global Ministries, situated in Ijesha Surulere. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Abraham Okodugha. How do I put it? Will I say in recovery or have recovered from drug addiction? But when it comes to drug addiction, you don't have a definite face for it, because it's a battle that never ends. Each passing day is a battle that never ends. So you only count your days of being clean. And by the grace of God, I have been 4 years clean, recovering from 8 years of addiction that almost ruined my life. Not almost, ruined my life, but did not succeed taking my life.
All right, interesting. So let's go straight into the conversation. And I think a very good place to begin from is to ask what drug you were addicted to.
Okay, I was addicted. I experimented with a lot of drugs, actually. Okay, I did normal weed, I did SK, I did codeine, I did Refnol, understand? And that was when I was in university. Yes, that was when I was in. Now, I was addicted to Pentazocine. Pentazocine is a painkiller. It's mostly used for sickle cell, ulcer patients, surgery patients. But like you know, pharmaceutical drugs are being abused on a constant basis. Like Refnol is a pharmaceutical drug, codeine is. But these days, they have converted into street drugs. So that's the drug I was addicted to.
Interesting. Mr. KG.
Yeah, I started off with marijuana, and I graduated to crack cocaine, heroin, and as I started touring with the band overseas, I did drugs like PSP, angel dust. I did a lot of pills, and I did a lot of what's it called? Syrup too, you know. But you know, like I will always tell people, opiates or pharmaceutical drugs is what is prevalent right now. And also, some of the drugs they are selling to the young people, drugs like Colorado, Loud, and all that. Many of the young people think that these drugs are marijuana. They are not marijuana. They are synthetic drugs. They manufacture those drugs in the laboratory. They are essentially liquid. But to smoke it, they have to soak it into leaves. And so the devastating effect is terrible. So that's what it is.
All right, interesting. So let's move to the next level. And that level is to ask how you became addicted to hard drugs.
All right. Mine is a funny case. I got admission to read pharmacy in UI, but I had an argument with my dad. I wanted to read medicine, but my dad forced me to read pharmacy, which is one of the things I tell parents. You can't use your children to fulfill the dream you could not fulfill because you are not the same.
Please say that again.
You cannot use your children to fulfill the dreams you could not fulfill because you are not the same. You don't have the same temperament. You understand what I'm saying? This marks for a lot of people dropping out of school because you are forcing your child to go and read what he cannot. If your son or your daughter comes home and say, "Mom, I want to read economics. You need to listen to what your child is saying. He's not just saying, I want to read economics. Your child is saying, I'm comfortable with economics. I will do well with economics. It's not going to stress me. But if you force that child to go and do something else, it's going to be a problem for the child when he gets to school. And we certainly end up with the wrong gang. So I was on campus and I refused to go for lectures. And of course, I found myself in a group of people that don't go for lectures. And then one of them was asking me, why did you not go for lecture? And I said, I don't like the course I'm reading. He said, so why did you choose it? I said, I didn't choose it. My dad chose it. And the guy said to me, why don't you go home and tell your dad you can't? I said, tell my dad I can't. Don't you know who my dad is? He will beat the hell out of me. That's another thing to parents because I'm a parenting expert. Now listen to me. You cannot use the syllabus of 1919 to pass exam in 2026. Most of you parents are using old syllabus of parenting to train children in 2026. You are going to fail woefully. All right? You need to step up. And so the guy said, okay, I will give you something that will boost you. Put his hand in his shirt pocket and brought out a stick of weed. I've never seen it before. He lighted it up and gave to me, and I took some puff. When I puffed it, coughed for a while, it was like my eyeballs were swollen inside. I closed my eyes. Water was dripping down my eyes. When I opened my eyes and looked at the guy again, the guy looked smaller than how he looks naturally when I was looking at him. And that was it. That same day, I tried to communicate with my dad that I don't want to go to school again. 4 days later, I came back home and we had a discussion and I told Daddy, see, I don't want to go to school again. And he said, what do you want to do? I've already thought about what I think I really want to do. That's play music, because in my mind as a young chap, I was between 16 and 17.
At that time?
Yeah. So I said, if I play music, I will make money, I will travel, I enjoy myself. So I said, I would like to play music. And my dad said to me, you can play music. Can't you see what music has done to that man they call Fela Anikulapo Kuti? But he was a fan of Fela. So that was the wrong message. That's another lesson to parents. I mean, I've seen parents that will be smoking cigarette and they are telling their little child, Junior, this thing is very bad. Don't ever take it. You're smoking it. And I'm sure you've seen that before. Wrong information. And when my dad mentioned Fela, and I'm like, it's not a smoke. That there is not, the man, forget about the smoke. The guy is a legend. He's a star, he's a superstar. What are you talking about? Who even knows you? These were my thoughts as a young man. And I just told myself, if this man is not ready to send me to music school, I'll go to Fela's house. 4 days later, I dropped a note. Dad, don't bother to look for me. I'll be back in 7 years. And I walked out of the house. Went to shrine. From shrine that evening, somebody took me to Kalakuta. I met with Fela Kuti. The rest is history.
You met him in person?
One-on-one.
All right, interesting. We are going to get into the details of what transpired when you met Baba Fela. So, Abraham, over to you. How did you get addicted to hard drugs?
Well, there is no direct question. There's no direct answer to that question because it's a ripple effect. That's one thing people don't understand. It doesn't just happen. There have to be a mental foundation. There's also something in drugs we call gateway drugs.
Gateway?
Yes, gateway drugs. For example, cigarettes, alcohol, those substances that society have marked as okay. Because alcohol, we don't see alcohol as a drug, but alcohol is a drug. Yeah. And funny enough, alcohol actually kills more. There's record statistic that alcohol, that's the abuse of alcohol and the addiction is higher than that of narcotic drugs. And alcohol have killed more people than normal narcotic drugs. So the ripple effect from mine started when I was a child. Growing up, I was a child evangelist. Yes. I grew up from my dad was not really much of the religious type, but my mom was very strong. And we were closer to my mom because my dad was more like, how do I put it? The way they raised us in our time was dad was the stiff hand, mom was the softer portion. So you lean towards the mom more. So from childhood, I've already said fasting, even before I was 5, 6. Yes. Because then there's this fellowship they used to take us to, anointed children. So that's the orientation I grew up with, knowing and loving God. So by the time I was in secondary school, I was going to other schools to preach in their devotions. I will go to markets. Those that are familiar with Port Harcourt, they'll know my 3 markets, they'll know Diob. That time, I was a very popular figure. Churches used to even invite me for crusades and all. The owner of the school then, Ojims College, put me on scholarship because of that. That until I graduate the school, no school fees, in order to encourage me and encourage others. And within that period, as a young chap growing up, you're living a life you don't have a script to. Understand? Most of the things you're preaching is based on what you read from the Bible, what you feel it is. Understand? So you're still ignorant about life. So it's always best you have a mentor or someone to look up to. And then the mentor I had, then most time when we close from school, we go there for fellowship and all that, actually ended up sexually abusing me. Yes, the man actually abused me sexually.
What was your relationship like with the man?
No, someone I looked up to now. I go to learn the Bible from when I go understand after school. If I have questions, because I've always had this curious mind right from time. Sometimes I will read the Bible and some things will not just fall into place. I want to analyze but why is this like this? Why would God want to do this? Why not this? And he was the person I usually throw those questions to.
Okay. Was he a pastor?
He was an evangelist, a youth evangelist.
A youth evangelist.
I won't say youth, teenage evangelist.
Teenage evangelist.
Yes.
How old were you at the time that this
I think I was in I was in GS3 then.
That's like how old? 9, 10?
I can't recall. I really can't recall.
12.
Yeah, but I was
11, 12.
I've not gotten to my puberty stage yet as of then. At least I can remember that.
TS3.
I've not gotten to my puberty stage as of then.
Okay.
So in the neighborhood, was he like an evangelist in a ministry or that you used to attend?
No, all these independent evangelists that starts up fellowship. They'll be like their teenage ministers, understand? They start up fellowship that they want to teach teenagers because the environment I grew up was very rough. Understand? Diob is like the Ajegule of Lagos. And Diob is like the ghetto of Lagos. So we had most of my peers then were courtists and all that, either Degbam or Dewe. That it was so now courtism they don't dilute them. Before this street na Dewe, this street na Degbam. So if you're Dewe, you cannot enter Degbam Street, and if you're Degbam, you cannot enter Dewe Street. That was how toxic the environment was. So, he was more of, we're trying to bring the teenagers and all that. So, and me, my major title then was pastor, small pastor, small pastor. It was so interesting that even parents were bringing people that were older than me for me to advise them. That when they do something wrong, they will come and meet me for me to caution them. That was how it was. And constant, when you look up to somebody, you tend to be vulnerable to an extent. Okay. And that's something I could never fathom. Because growing up, we were only warned about fornication as man and woman. But nobody mentioned fornication or homosexuality as a thing at that time. It was just not something I comprehended. So, after the fellowship that day, I was about leaving, and he told me to wait behind, that there was some certain things he needed to show me up, and I stayed. And the next thing, he started telling me how he has been watching me, how he's proud of me. And while he's saying all this, he was touching me in an appropriate manner. And okay, at first I tried to give him benefit of the doubt, like based on the respect I have for him. Just like the normal tactics that most pedophiles use, they try to emotionally blackmail you like you don't have respect and lure you in. So when I tried resisting, I was feeling too uncomfortable. When he started touching my private parts and all that, I tried resisting. He actually forced himself on me. And based on the kind of family background I came from, I didn't have that leverage of talking to my parents about it. And funny enough, I actually got home devastated, only for me to meet my mom and my dad having a clash.
Oh.
So that was definitely not a good vibe for me to just approach the issue. You get, and the way I also grew up, that whole thing where if the children do something, one of the parents is blamed for it and all that. And I was like, oh, if I mention this now, one of the parents will be blamed for it. I know. So I was devastated inside because it was not the action that tore me apart. It was the person. Because this was a figure that represented like a figure of what a godly person should be like. And I was not like, if this person could have done this, like, are you even sure God is real? That is where, sometimes Satan can use your own intelligence against you. For real. Satan can use your own intelligence against you. And I'm like, are you sure God even exists? Because are you sure it's not just some excuse that all these colonial white people just brought in order to manipulate people and start slave trade? This was at a very young age. I was thinking all that. You get, I was like, God is not real, because if God was real, I've been dedicated, I've been loyal to him, I've been doing the best I can, I didn't join bad gang and all that, and yet he allowed that to happen. So, and funny enough, within that period, I was still struggling. I was still struggling to like still hold on to my faith. I didn't know any other way of life. That's the way I was raised. So I didn't know any other way of life I was comfortable with. I was still trying to just hold on. When I try to pray, I can't concentrate. When I try to read the scriptures, I can't concentrate. Understand? The trauma just keep playing back in my head. And sometimes I'll just stay like this, tears. Sorry. Tears will just come out of my eyes and all. So shortly after that period, while still struggling to get my feet back again, I did a hernia operation within that period. And there was another pastor that led to another incident. That was the one that just broke the camel's back. Because he usually used to, he promised me he was going to get me a suit because of the invites I usually get for events, crusades, that I shouldn't be wearing the clothes I say I should dress mature. That he's promised. I don't have money for that. And my parents cannot really afford all that for now. So like he promised he was going to buy me a suit and all. So usually, out of naivety, when I'm coming back, I usually go visit him and I'll be like, hey, pastor, what about that? Childishness. What about that suit you promised and all? But this time around, the trauma was a different ball game. I came one day to actually meet him to ask for the suit as usual, and it was the wife that was around. Don't worry, it's not what you're thinking, it's actually worse.
Okay.
The wife told me to sit and actually asked me what I did with the house help. And this girl was, if you don't imagine something before, it would be easier for you to just, believe, say, maybe you don't want me forget. But this is a thought that it was even forbidden in my mind, talking less of. And the worst part is I was accused of sleeping with the girl inside the church because their house was at the back of the church. And I actually tried explaining the truth I know. That, hey, this is nothing, because, and the next day was like he was going to call the pastor. And based on the proximity of relationship I had with the pastor, I believe this man should know me well enough to know I can do such a thing and all. Funny enough, this man came with 2 military koboko. What? And the next thing he told me that the Holy Spirit told him if I say the truth, he should let me go. But if I lie to him, he should beat me until I say the truth. And I told him the truth I knew. And
Which was?
I definitely know nothing about what they were talking about. I don't have the time. After school, I'm home. I had no friends. My life revolved around church and worshiping God. And anyway, what happened was he started beating me up. The worst part was if he was beating me just inside the house, it would have been better.
Oh my God.
This man beat me up, stripped me naked, and dragged me out in the public. And people that knew me, people that actually knew me, came gathered to watch the scene. These were people that knew me as a young person coming up and, someone that they looked up to. And he beats me and beats me and beats me and he was a stammerer. So imagine the temper. beat me and say that I should say the truth. At some point, I noticed where I did my hernia surgery was beginning to open and bleed.
Oh my God.
So I was forced to accept what I didn't do. Because I was hoping, maybe finally, this man will let me go. But that wasn't the case. Okay, but it was even still the wife that later came back to start begging him to let me go before he would kill me. And I had to wear back my school uniform with the bruises. And funny enough, got home. Parents were busy.
Fighting again?
They never fight, just nag at each other.
So they did not even notice anything about you with the bruises on your...
Hey, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
So that was just what killed it. I was not like, hell no, nah. And besides, what face will I even have to go back and start preaching? What face? I just accepted to molesting a minor. At least then I was still a minor though, but I just accepted of sleeping with somebody. So what face will I have to go and preach again? Who will invite me? Which market will I go to talk to? Which school? So that was just it. And I lost my sense of identity. Growing up, my identity was with God, standing for God. And I lost the only thing that made me myself. I was still going to church, but you know that kind of a thing where you go to church and the pastor is preaching. Before you quote the John 3:16 finish, you don't quote and finish. But it was more like, what are you saying that I already know? But because I didn't actually have it, I didn't know any other societal gathering apart from, or any social life apart from the church. So it was more like I was just going as a church boy. Then there was this sense of belonging I was craving for, because where I thought I belonged was no longer there. I wanted to just fit in. And the church I was attending was more of this kind of Ajebo kind of church. If someone hear me speaking English now, they'll think maybe I be one Ajebo picking. I grew up in the ghetto. Understand? But that helped me because being among Ajebo kids, I always admired them. Seeing their parents after church coming to pick them up. And meanwhile, my parents don't even know the church I was attending. Understand? I attend my own church, everybody. So, and you won't blame them because they gave me freedom at a very early age due to my ministry. And they always trusted me that I would never bring trouble home, which I never did. So because of that, they gave me that freedom. So like that, and I gained admission into school. Getting into school, there's this sense of competitiveness that comes in. You know, when you day house, your papa, they tell you A is not good, B is good and all that. You're only familiar with your immediate environment, your classmates. Your environments are controlled. But university is not like that. University is more broad, where it's more like lecturer no get your time to come to correct you. Unlike secondary school, when they tell you, say you did this, kneel down. Lecturer get your time. So it's a place where you find yourself. You don't find yourself. To me, I really don't think people find themselves in secondary school. I think it's mostly if you can survive the first 3 semesters, year 2, first semester, and year 1, then hold on to that identity you're able to create.
How old were you at this time?
I was a teenager at this time. I think I gained admission 2010 after working for like 3 to 4 years. I worked as a sales boy in a furniture company. So, and I have always been business orientated. So I learned if I gained admission. And 2010, I'm 36 now. So that should be like 16 years ago. Okay. I'm right to the calculation, yes?
Yes.
No, I'm not. That should like
2016.
Yeah, that should like
2010 is 16 years ago.
16 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. So
36 minus.
So you were
16.
20.
Yes, as of then. So that means I finished secondary school as of 16. Okay, so that was that period. And I had that sense of, but my personality was conflicting. The morals I was raised with. Back then in church, one of the things that helped me was I had this lady. For some reason, I don't know why she developed personal interest into me. Mommy Kemi. Barista Kemi Ogunike. For some reason, she just developed interest and started investing her time into me, took me as her own child. She was someone I could always talk to about anything. I can lie to the world, but that woman is one person I couldn't lie to. I will always tell her this. I can remember my first time I smoked weed in university. My conscience was killing me. I had to go report myself to her. That was one of the things that helped me through university. As for cast past the way I cast reach. Because there was this phobia that I was accountable to somebody. What if mommy Kemi finds out? Even my family called her my mom. So that was the other restriction, that guidance I had. But even at that, it wasn't still enough. Because there was this sense of wanting to belong, wanting to be accepted. And I didn't go into school like every other person. My eye been already open because while I was working as a sales boy, I was making money. As a young boy now, I was making money. And then I could afford going to club. I started smoking, not with cigarette, but with cigar. That big one. Yes. I could afford it. I was making money as a teenager, no responsibilities. What was there to do? There's almost no hair. Okay, apart from dreadlocks, I think dreadlocks is the only hairstyle I've never done. I've plaited hair, drawn things. I've done all that. But the thing is, in that process, I got exposed to smoking cigar. And that is because most times in movies, I see it as that's what big boys do.
The Cuban cigar.
Yeah, the Cuban cigar. As of then, it was sold 1.5 per stick. Understand? For those of anybody listening to this podcast that's in Port Harcourt, they know Casablanca very well. So it's usually that place we go by because that's like more like their shower and club joints in that area. Yes. So actually, I would buy that and just in order to form big boy. And then I was a dancer, a very good dancer at that. And when I go club, I need to buy drink. Now girls they buy drink for me. No worry, over freshness be the key me that time. No worry. I was very... So, that was the first exposure I had. Say smoking cigar. When I go to club, I want to form big boy. Then when I now gained admission, I saw people that came from rich homes. You understand? Comfortable homes. And they were all big boy. And I wanted to be associated as such. Because I get that hustling spirit. Even for school, I don't the hustle. I'm a stylist. I'm a unisex stylist. I make hair and I also barb hair too.
What school did you attend?
Uniport.
And
if you know Uniport very well, it's a place of swag. Yeah, understand? It's a place of swag, like steez. So I learned skill in school and I was making money. So I wasn't solely depending on my parents for everything they give me. When they give, I add up. So I could afford the SSS. So before I knew, that's how they introduced me to weed.
Who introduced you?
That's my... Well, not today ask the question at the same time now.
I mean, we want to know.
All right. It's actually my friends. First, my neighbor.
You were staying off campus?
Yes, I was staying off campus.
In your 100 level?
Yes. My dad rented one room for me. He actually wanted to rent a self-contained, then I should have a roommate. I insisted that no, because I like my privacy. That instead of self-contained, rent a one room. That half you won't pay for self-contained. You can pay one room. Let me have my privacy. And my neighbor then, see, there's one thing I want to make people understand. When they come to this peer pressure thing, I think when it comes to drugs, it's more of superiority influence than peer pressure.
Superiority influence.
Can you explain that?
Now, let me explain. Guy, you hardly envy your mates except they're doing better than you. Understand? And even though your peers, if they are doing better than you, your category, how you categorize them doing better than you is them having what you don't have. And what you feel you lack and another have, you feel that person that have what you lack is superior over you. So automatically your mind have now elevated that person above you. Let's use Yahoo for example. Have you noticed that almost all Yahoo boys dress, act, and drive the same kind of cars? Why? Upcoming Yahoo boy has seen the hustle. In senior man. Senior man they front of in GL, understand? In the buzzweed, who that's a red cup, understand? Maybe they drink Mattel, or the bad music for in this thing. So you won't be say be upcoming now, or you just see 11 vo enter. You see him, you just admire that scene. See this bro, just chill.
That's my future.
Understand? Automatically. And one thing we have to understand is Bible says, as far as your eyes can see, possess. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Meaning as you are a product of your thoughts. And those thoughts are a product of a picture. For example, if I mention elephants, what is the first thing that entered your mind?
Very big.
Size.
Exactly. Meaning your mind automatically just interpreted the information I just passed to you. But if you have never seen an elephant before, and I mention an elephant, your brain will try to scramble. Just imagine I say rabidio. You don't know what that is.
Blank.
It's blank in your head. Meaning for most times we should be careful of the informations we expose ourselves to. Because guide your mind with all diligence, because there comes the issues of life. Meaning everything that is happening in your life or that revolves around your life is a product of your mind. Guiding your mind. So meaning walking away from toxic conversation is not rude. It's self-protection. So when you now grasp that image, your mind automatically have recorded it. It's just like history, like maybe in phone or computer, understand, previous search and all. Now, your mind will just archive that image as, when I make am, na so I go like be. So the day that particular young man touches money, the first thing he wants to do is buy GLK, buy expensive phone, and want to stay by the GLK and smoke weed too, to replay. And most of he would have even forgotten that image he saw.
So you used to look at your neighbors and want to be like them because you felt
Exactly, because this were actually what I saw as rich kids.
okay.
So they were my peers, but I saw them superior over me.
Okay. Because they used
Because they
to
were doing
smoke weed and
drugs?
you were not.
Not that actually. See, I come from, I won't say poor. My dad was a civil servant. Okay, so it's not like we're poor. But compared to the financial background I came from, I could call them rich kids. And like I said earlier, when people have what you lack, you tend to please them. For example, when you did secondary school, I don't know if your papa be the carry motor can carry you. But if you be they like us when we say with the trek go back house, you notice that those kids that the parents used to come with cars to come and pick, we usually respect them more. You see?
So sorry that I'm cutting you
Yes,
because I'm
hello.
really interested in the main story
Okay.
of what was
How
your
you-
first experience like? How did they approach you? What did you go to meet them in their room? I just want to run into
I will usually go to hang out with them
okay.
and I see them doing it. And curiosity popped in.
Okay.
Curiosity popped in. And I had that curiosity. How does it feel like? Because the way they explain it and the way they try to, romance the whole thing, I always had that curiosity. And one day I decided to try out.
So what did you try out?
The first thing I tried out with them was weed. And to be honest, I know this, some people might think what I'm about to say right now, I shouldn't have said it, but taking drugs actually feel good. Because the truth is, if you hide the truth, you're doing no one no good. It feels good, but the price you pay for it is not worth it.
Okay, so talking about the price, I'm going to have a quick question for Mr. Hamilton.
Before you ask your question,
Okay, sir.
I want to take us back to the question you asked. How do people get addicted to drugs? Drug is people trying to find solution to underlying problems. For him, it's self-esteem.
Self-escape.
Yeah. He had a low self-esteem of himself.
Self-esteem.
Esteem. Okay.
Self-esteem.
Escape.
Esteem. If you
Esteem,
have a
okay.
low self-esteem of yourself, you always see people better than you. And you always want to be like those people. Right? So, how does addiction come? When you have a physical pain, right? What do you take?
Painkillers.
Fine. Do you know what they call psychological pain? There are emotional pains
Yeah.
that can come from abuse. Abuse can be categorized into verbal abuse. If your parents are always abusing you, like maybe you are the eldest child and they are saying you are a fool, your younger sister is smarter than you, it will mentally affect you. Then there's physical abuse, the beating. That's why I could not go home and argue with my dad that I cannot study pharmacy. I don't want him to beat me. Then there's sexual abuse, which actually just take away your dignity, right? All those things happen. Now, all these things because you cannot challenge your parents, you cannot talk to anybody, they start to disturb your mind. When anything disturbing your mind is a psychological pain. That's what leads to sleeplessness, anxiety, and whatever. So one of the things that is used to numb emotional and psychological pain is drugs, starting with alcohol. Now,
The gateway drugs.
The gateway drugs or mother drug, that's what we call it in therapy. Now, you find out there's a quoting that says, drink and forget your
Sorrows.
So, just as Panadol can numb your physical pain, drugs or anything intoxicating is used to numb psychological pain. So that's where addiction comes in. Because when you take the drugs, you don't remember the problem again.
But when
You
the
probably,
drug wears
you
out-
fall asleep if you have taken so much. Now, you are not going to wake up until the drug finish working in your body. So when you wake up, the drug has finished working.
And the problem
The
The problem
resurfaces.
comes. So you have to take drug again.
Begin to escape
So
it.
before you know, it becomes everyday thing. And when you talk about addiction, it's not just drugs. There are people addicted to sex. There are people addicted to pornography, masturbation. It's the same circle. It's the same circle, right? It's the same circle. So when somebody have low self-esteem most of the time comes from how you were brought up at home and the environment. If you are somebody that has always been verbally abused, physically abused, already your esteem is being brutalized.
Mm.
All right? And this is where parenting comes in. Many children are not friends of their parents. If him and his parents were friends, that day he was abused, as he gets home, he will tell one of them.
True.
And that is why in this generation, every parent must learn the 21st century parenting, whereby you and your kids, you are paddies, so that whatever happens. If I ask you a question, if your son comes home and says, your 14-year-old son comes home from school and say, Mom or Dad, I smoke weed in school today, how will you react?
Okay, so first I'll say sit down. Tell me about it. Who gave it to you?
Thank you, because you are aware.
Who gave it to
But
you?
in our days, your mom will scream,
You go collect serious
Yes.
word.
get a slap. The first time your son tells you something that is not good, the way you react will either open the door for him to continue to
More.
confide in you
Or
or
scare him
shut you
off.
up forever.
Yes.
Do you understand? So that's why. So go ahead and ask your question.
So you mentioned earlier that you went to Shrine.
Mhm.
I'd like you to run us through how did you actually meet Fela and start playing with his band? Who took you there? What gave you the courage? I mean, walk us through that experience of meeting Fela.
What gave me the courage was the fact that my dad was a fan of Fela. So I grew up hearing Fela sing. And I felt, to me as a young chap, hearing Fela sing, he looks like a savior, like somebody that cares about people, you know, like somebody that can empathize with the suffering of the people. So, and when my dad now mentioned that, can't I see what music has done to the guy? From my own thinking that like Fela was like a savior or something, I just felt that would be the best place to go. But so I don't know the way to his house, but I've heard about the shrine where he plays, which is African Shrine. His house is Kalakuta. So I went to Shrine. That day I met with Femi Anikulapo-Kuti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was washing the gods in the shrine. When you go to the shrine, there's a club, it's a shrine, but there's a shrine inside where we have gods. You see things like Shango, Yemoja, Ogun, Shokpano.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're saying really, you know, in the entertainment industry. So you hear things like, but you know that they call Fela the chief priest of the African shrine.
Yes.
Will a priest not have a shrine?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is not hidden, right? And so he was washing some of the carvings, you know, those gods. And I walked up to him and we got talking and questions were very easy. Why are you not in school? And I said, I just dropped out. So what do you want to do now? Well, I would like to play music. which school is your dad sending you? My dad just is not interested. I don't think he want to send me to any school. So would you like to come to our house? You can learn music there. I said, why not? So I waited later. I mean, we even ate together that day. In the evening, we went to Kalakuta, and then I met with fella. Femi said, this my new friend. And then fella said, does he want to stay? And I said, yes. And he said, find a place for him.
Wow.
So I was taken upstairs and I was paired with a guy called Dele Shusimi, who happens to be the keyboard for fella then. Right? And then that was it. But I'll leave the other things around that place for a future symposium discussion. So now I wanted to learn music. I don't know anything about music. And, nobody wanted to teach me. I met the bassist then, one Emeka. I will come and you say, okay, you pack all his clothes, full, 2 basins, say, go and wash it. And he go and lie down. I finish washing. He wake up and say, oh, yeah, go and buy me food with my money. I buy the food, he finish eating, he will lie down and say when I wake up. When he wake up, he say, time is gone, come back tomorrow. When it happened 3 times, I trashed him. But at this time, I have started making some plans of, I didn't know what to do. I've started reading certain books because there were books in Kalakuta that we read. There were collections of fellas' books. They're essentially spiritual books and all that, and human rights books on Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the Soldier Brothers, Angela Davis, and then there are other spiritual books. So there was one book I grabbed that I was reading. This book had to do with, it's a yoga book. Inside, there was a lesson on how to astral project. I don't know if you know what that means.
What does that mean, please?
That's your spirit, leave your body
Okay.
and go on a spiritual journey. So I read the book and I saw an exercise there of how to project. And I decided to partake in that exercise. It involves, locking yourself up in the room and then getting some stuff and then sit in lotus position in the middle of what you have drawn on the floor. And then start chanting what is written on the book. In the book, I don't know whether it's Indian language or whatever, but you're chanting. So as I sat there, I was chanting. I suddenly discovered that I was looking at myself where I was sitting. And I'm like, is that not me? Before I could say Jack, I've gone out through the roof. And I was moving towards the sky with the speed of an aircraft that is on the runway at the airport. The last move, you know how the aircraft takes, it first run slowly, then pause, then increase, and then take a run to take off. That was the speed. And as I was going, I went through the clouds, and I was looking at the small spot. But as I was getting closer, I was getting wider. It was when I went through, I saw that it was another place. I appeared in a realm where I saw beings having legs and hands like us, like this, but they were not wearing clothes. Their body was covered with fur. And one of them approached me and said, what are you looking for? We were not talking. There's a language called telepathy, which is mind-to-mind communication.
Yes.
And he said, what do you want? I said, I want to play music. And he said, follow me. And we walked into something that looked like a hall. As we got towards the door opened, we entered. And I saw 3 beings like this one that brought me in, sitting across a table, 3 of them, and there was a bench on this side. And it said to me, sit down, with the same mode of communication. I sat down, and he left. So the one on the left, extreme left, said, so what instrument would you like to play? I said, rhythm guitar. And he just said to me, you can play now. And the one in the middle said, what instrument I guess you want to play? I said, I would like to play piano. He said, you can play. And then I stopped. The guy that brought me in came back in and said, let's go. We came out of that hall and he said, return to your body. And I came back with the same speed. I was still in that position. I entered and my eyes opened. I stood up. Then I opened the door, went out. I met somebody along the corridor, and the guy said to me, Keji, where have you been? I said, what do you mean I've been? I've been in that room, not quite, maybe like 2 hours or so. The guy said, no, we've been looking for you. It's been 3 days.
What?
I said, how do you mean? So I went back into the room. I asked him, what's the date? He told me. What's today's date? He told me. I went back into the room and I checked. Of a truth, I've been out of my body 72 hours. So I went to Fela and said, Fela,
I want to play now.
I want to play in your band. He said, what instrument? No, he said, you want to play in my band? I said, yes. He said, when did you come to my house? I said, not quite long. Get out. Do you think music is yam? I left. Then that night I could not sleep. I was worried. So the next day I went back. I said, Fela, I want to play in your band. Why don't you just test me? He said, okay. What instrument? I said, guitar. So he called on somebody, they brought a 6-string guitar. I sat opposite him and he started calling the chords. Play me C major, play me F sharp.
And you were playing them all?
I was scoring them.
Really?
When he said play C, I said, look at C at the neck, look at C in the middle, look at C down here, F. And he said, stop. When did you say you came to my house? I said, Fela, that's not a big deal. Do I now know how to play? Can I play? Have I passed? He said, okay, play me scales. I said, all right. This is minor. It's minor 7. This is intervallic scale. This is blues scales. He said, okay, I will fail you now. Play me my latest number in Shrine. The latest number then was a song called Just Like That. It was played on E flat minor. So I said, okay. I just went down the guitar, held the chord. I just played the rhythm. And he said, okay. But tell me, where did you learn this? I said, it's not a problem. Have I passed? He said, of course you have passed. And he called somebody and told the person that this guy is my latest guitarist. I'll be going to America next month for tour.
Just like that.
Get his passport and prepare his visa. And that was it. And that was why that was one of the things that when I got saved, I had to back out of music. I back out. You can see how many years I've been saved. I'm just coming out with a single, right? And my single is connected to the things we were saying about. It's the people you are looking up to, blah, blah, blah. We call them Agbaya. Somebody you are looking up to learn from ends up abusing you or messing you up. It's an Agbaya now. And every day people experience this in life. There are girls that are being messed up by their bosses. You are looking up to a boss. You greet your boss, good morning, sir, and everything, and your boss wants to take advantage of you. Do you understand that? So that's just it. That was how I became a member of the band. And of course, that travel, some funny things happened. We're traveling. It's 1984, mind you.
What?
We were at the airport. Fela was arrested. He was found with pounds that is not supposed to carry, more than. That was during the Buhari and the Diagbon regime then. So normally we get to the airport, he will say all of us to go into the plane first. He will be sitting, people are coming to hail, greet him. When we are all inside, another 15 minutes before he comes. We're in the aircraft when one of the airport workers came in and said, guys, Fela has been arrested. He said you guys should go to America, that he will join you tomorrow. We thought it was a joke. We went to America, had our first show in Hollywood Main Bowl, but Fela never showed up. So all the shows they had planned for us in America were cancelled. And that was it. Cancelled. So we struggled and Fela was facing the court. So some promoters managed to help us organize 3 shows. One in UC Berkeley, one in Oakland, in one club, another to raise money for ticket. We came back. Before you say Jack, the case was judged. Fela was sentenced to serve 10 years concurrently. That means we serve 5 years. So it was within this period I graduated from weed to cocaine. Because it was a tough time for us. Fela was not there. The house we were living, Fela's house, at Tunica Labandi Street, the landlord has come, threw us out. We're all now in shrine, sleeping in shrine. It was so painful. I'm like, oh God, why did I ever leave home? Everything is messed up. What do I do? So one of the days we were playing, and I was playing my guitar. And normally in shrine, when we play like 5 songs, we take a break. The break is for us to go get high a little bit and come back. You want to drink, you want to smoke, or you want to eat something. So I jumped down from the stage. A young man approached me. He's a pastor now in London. And he said to me, young boy, I like the way you play your guitar. And I said, thank you. And he said to me, young boys like you in America, there's something they use that enhance their performance.
Yeah.
And I said, what is that? He said, cocaine. I said, I've never heard about that too. He said, you're a coward. You don't tell teenagers they are cowards. You don't, young people are daring. Immediately he said, you're a coward. I said, can I have it? And the guy said, no. You cannot just have it like that. Finish playing, we'll go to where I will show you. So I finished playing that night. He said, let's go. We checked into a hotel, Benite Hotel, and put his hand in his suit's pocket and brought out one creamish powder. And he said, this is cocaine. I said, yeah, let's smoke. He said, no. I'm going to teach you how to cook it. Yeah, a lot of people don't know the difference. When it is powder, it's cocaine. When you are ready to smoke it, it's crack.
Oh, they're both the same.
For it to become crack, it has to go through some chemistry. Like you need bicarbonate of soda powder, you need a cooking bottle as like chemistry laboratory. The bicarbonate soda will act as a catalyst. So you mix the cocaine powder with bicarbonate soda with water in the cooking bottle, and then you shake it together. It's a mixture now. Then you put a lighter under. Heat it. When you heat it, it boils and form oil on top. Then you pour ice water. The oil will turn to a stone. And that stone is what we call crack. Now, to smoke that stone, you either need a Pyrex pipe or you use a bottle like this to prepare what we call bunker. You know what I'm saying? So he taught me all that. Then we started smoking. After I smoked for a while, I noticed that some people were moving in the room. And I said, guy, maybe we're only 2 here. Why are people moving in the room? The guy laughed. He said, there's nobody in the room. He said, that's what we call paranoia. You are getting paranoid. I said, what does that mean? He said, you are seeing things that are not real. Then he put his hand in his pocket. He brought out a brown powder. And he said, this is heroin. He said, anytime you smoke the crack, you are experiencing this, you step down with this. And I said, how do you take this? And he took cigarette, brought out the paper inside, burnt it so that the foil, like foil paper, you see that paper inside cigarette, you put the white on the back will burn off. That shining one will become foil paper. Then he polished it like that, poured the heroin, brought out a $1 note, made a pipe out of it, and then melted the powder, then carried it, and then as he put the lighter under, the powder would turn to oil and start to run, and then so that's what they call chase the dragon. So you start to chase the oil with the pipe and all that, And so, and then in drug addiction, we have uppers and downers. Cocaine is uppers. It keeps you awake. Okay? And that is why you can find out that most people that do night work, like people that work overnight, night back to back, not sleeping, they always need crack. I don't want to mention some of the professions, you understand, to stay awake. Heroin is downers. Downers make you fall asleep, right? And then drugs like colos are in that circle. Those guys,
the downers.
Yes. They make you sleep. They weaken you. They make you dull. Make you sleep. You start behaving like a zombie. You understand what I'm saying?
Sluggish.
Yeah, you're sluggish. You understand? So that was it. This guy gave me this drug and taught me how to smoke. And then early in the morning, after teaching me in that midnight, gave me 5 grams of crack, gave me 5 grams of heroin. He left.
And sent forth now.
And that my first time. So I just continued. I couldn't sleep. I smoked till daybreak. By the time it was morning, I finished smoking everything.
Hey.
So
5 grams.
Yes, then I slept off. Then around 10 a.m., he comes again. Keji, how far? I say, fine. He say, bring drum. I say, I don't finish him. He say, that's too much. Then we smoked for a while. He gave me 2 grams. Then he disappears. Then I didn't see him again. Then I noticed that when I wake up in the morning, man,
You're looking for it.
I'm sick. What is looking for it? Sick.
Okay.
You know, I want to throw up. My stomach is churning me. I'm feeling cold. At the same time, I'm sweating. I'm coughing. I'm vomiting. I can't eat anything. Yeah, and if I try to swallow anything, so I start looking. I don't know how to get it. Then I went to one joint in Keji. I said, I worry, you know, near the shrine then. And I was telling the guys in the joint that, look at what's happening. One of them laughed. He was smoking one tiny weed like that. You know, you can always lace your weed with heroin powder. And the guy say, you did Jones now. And I Jones they do you. Oh yeah, smoke. And I just took off. All that pain gone. You know. So about 2 weeks later, I was sitting, the guy appears again. And I'm like, guy, where you go? He said, I just quickly carry markets, go. You know, he was a baron. You know, he spent all his life abroad and he spent half of his life in the prison. He's 70 now, so half of his life was in prison because he was a baron, you know. And then I said, guy, since you left, every morning when I wake up, I'm falling sick. He laughed. And he said, that's Johnson. I said, what is Johnson? He said, that means you cannot function without drugs.
Jesus.
Locked in.
So I was drinking a Gouda bottle. I was drinking Gouda. Then immediately said that I smashed it on the skull. I wanted to stab him. He ran away. You know, excuse me my language. I'm a street. I was brought up in the street, you know. Yeah.
It's okay.
You know. So, and that was it. So from then on, it was this drug that took me to the extreme of life. So many other things happened that, I mean, if I was told they will ever happen, I would say it was not part of the story. And that's what we are saying. Now, he spoke about friends. 1 Corinthians 15:33. He said, do not be deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. Proverbs 13:20. He that walks with the wise shall be wise. The companion of fools shall be destroyed. So it's only a matter of time. If you hang out with gay guys, you'll be a gay. Yes. If you hang out too much with Yahoo guys, you will learn their mannerism. You start thinking about money the way they think about money. And as a man thinking in his heart, Proverbs 23:7, once you start thinking like that, you soon start doing what they're doing. That's Proverbs 13:20. Evil communication, corrupt good manner. Even if you're a pastor's kid, if you decide to be hanging out with cultists and all that, forget about your being a pastor's kid. You're gone. All right? So you must choose your friends wisely. And that is to all the young people listening to us on this cast. You know what I'm saying? Choose your friends wisely.
I'm curious to know, when Fela came back from prison, did you still play for him?
Yes, now.
So how did it now feel like playing now that you were now an addict?
Did you hear what he said? Now he said he wants to be honest. Drug is sweet. To say it's sweet is an understatement.
Statements.
Something that makes you forget all your problems. Listen to me. If you are a married woman and you are being assaulted and abused by your husband, and the first person you go to complain to is a drug addict, he will introduce you to drugs. Once you take it, you care less about whatever is happening at home.
And most times that given to you can come from a place of good intention, and that is a trap.
It's a trap. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not about, I mean, they will tell you now, when I'm playing on stage, every cigarette and every weed I smoke on stage is laced.
Hey.
And you were extra active.
Oh my God. You can find out now. You will soon find out, As my single drops, you'll be seeing comments and comments and comments, You see comments, read the comments now, Even when, heroin makes you sleep. Even when I am sleeping. My fingers are working.
Playing.
The crowd will shout, "Fella, see Keji, they sleep." Fella will say, "Leave him, spirit don't catch him." I was super active.
He knew you were addicted.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he knew. But fella never permitted drugs around him. But I was highly favored before him. And there are many reasons for that. You know what I'm saying? I alone is the person that can smoke drugs. Now, let me tell you, it was when he went to jail I got into drugs. When fella got out of jail, you know, the house he was living has been taken over. So he went straight to his younger brother's house, Dr. Becker and some kid in Tony Village, in Maria Street. So the first day I went to see him there, when I got there, he sat me down. He said, "Keji, I hear say you don't smoke that thing when they call cocaine and heroin." I say, "Keji, that thing no good. That thing no good." He said, "You see that heroin? That thing they keep prick." That's the first thing he told me. Sorry for my language.
No, it's okay.
We are being honest here, right?
It's okay, sir.
He said, "You see that heroin, they keep prick," and it is true. Heroin users can't perform with women. And that's one of the reasons most drug addicts keep going back to drugs. There are some habits that drugs helps you develop. So you don't only get out of drugs, you must get out of those habits. And there are many habits, including how you spend money. You know, drug addicts, they don't value money. You must deal with that. And that is why, if it is God that saved you, He's going to take you through a journey.
A process.
A process. Yes, to deal with all those habits and all that. And you must become addicted to the Word of God and to prayer. And of course, fasting.
Because you need to replace what you've
Why?
lost.
Why fasting? Now, a lot of people don't want to agree that drugs is spiritual. But let me break it down. The Greek word for drug is pharmakia. Spelled Pharmkae. From there, you get the root word for pharmacy. Pharm. When you translate pharmakia to English directly, do you know the meaning? Witchcraft.
Translated directly from Greek to the English language.
Yes.
Witchcraft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Okay, so I have a question for you, but I would love your take on it as well, sir, when it's done. So at what point exactly did you realize that you were an addict?
Okay. Now, the thing is, most addicts don't know they are addicts until they try to stop.
Thank you.
Most don't know. You always give yourself excuse, "I'll stop when I want to stop. Don't worry, just this one. She is, me." And most times, it's difficult when you give yourself excuses and those excuses are legit. You now start using past testimonies. Like, for example, when I got hooked to my own substance, I was referring back to, after all, before I be take codeine, I be take weed before. When I come out for school, I stop. You get? So you begin to use past testimonies to give yourself confidence that, no worry, when I want to stop, I will stop. And it's also quite very difficult when you give yourself legitimate reasons why you should keep taking it. That's why most times when you want to stop addiction, the first thing you need to first do is trace the source. Because if it was emotional hurt that led you to addiction, as long as that emotional hurt is not dealt with, there is room for relapse.
You relapse.
Because your brain have already accustomed. Okay, let me give this example. When I first came out from the last rehab I did, because I went to rehab several times. The last rehab I did, when I came out, that same day I came out from rehab, I found out that I was homeless.
Can you imagine?
So you could imagine the emotional shock. Understand? Although we'll never reach that stage, that story stage anyway, but that was what happened. And the thing is, before then, how I dealt with emotional traumas like that, or emotional disability like that, or when I'm disorientated, was to go fix up.
Get high.
Get high on the drug. You get? So immediately that craving resurrected, go and take it, go and take it. That is where God factor came in. See, there's this interesting and nice confidence that comes with when you know God got your back. It's very interesting, because when that thing happened, I didn't respond with fear. And that's because this last rehab, I invested the time I was inside rehab building relationship with God.
Studying, praying.
Yes. Understand? Because in rehab, you literally have nothing to do. Just watch TV or read books or play Ludo with games or with people. Understand? It's like a prison.
So we are going to get into all the times you went to rehab.
Types of
Okay.
rehabilitation.
But let's go back to what resulted in you eventually going to rehab. I have noticed scars on your hand. So just take us back, no, before you open our first, take us back to what now transpired with your neighbors that you elevated above you,
Okay.
and what now resulted in all of this.
Now, the thing is, after I started experiencing weed, that gave me, because cigar doesn't give much highness.
Wow.
Understand? I even wondered why people even smoked it in the first place. Understand? So, it doesn't really give much highness, but weed felt good.
And it was your neighbors in
Yes.
school
In school.
that introduced you to it.
Yes. Understand? Felt good. And then from weed, those my guys in university now, when we are rolling, understand, started taking weed too. I will join them. We usually go to the bunk to buy and come back.
The
Understand?
bunk inside school.
The bunk is a bush close to the campus.
Excuse me. Are you not aware that every university has
Have
a drug
a-
market?
I don't understand.
Every
Even in secondary
university
school these
drug
days.
market.
Yes.
Inside the university.
Yes.
Even now, secondary schools.
Secondary schools now.
Really?
They recruit students now. They recruit students
I
now
go
as
to all these
dealers.
places. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, Mr. Keji, we'll go into this details. Hold that one. We'll go. As you and your neighbors, they go bunk.
Yes.
Go buy.
So we'll go to bunk, understand? Everybody will do contribution. We used to call it offering. Understand? You understand what I mean? Understand? You bring your share, you bring your share, you bring your share. And from there, we graduated to codeine.
Lean.
Yes. Understand? So codeine now, that is usually comes in a bottle. Understand? Then I think it was around 2.5 or so. Get. So we now contribute 500 like that. So everybody will take each measurement. So some of us prefer mixing ours with Coke because we feel it will last longer. While some like taking it raw.
Direct.
Understand? So that time we'd only drag who go take bottle because the residues in the bottle too are extra for you. Than if they measure it. You get. So that's it. And because weed felt good, it opened the door for me to try others.
Others. What are others?
Hey, I just mentioned
I just
codeine.
mentioned it now.
That's coding na order.
Yes.
Others.
No, they come to the others.
Please go
Understand?
there.
So
Yeah,
it's
no.
opened that gateway to us to see how others felt since this one felt good. Understand? Tried up codeine, then Refnol.
No.
That time we used to call it AKA Baba Blue.
Yeah.
Understand? You will lick it and your tongue will become blue.
Blue. Oh, okay.
Understand? Why the ones those are for the ones that are not patient.
Is that the
oh.
one they call Happy Pill?
No.
Happy pill is different. Now, Refnol is when you take it, if you want a fast effect, you lick it. You just dilute and start working almost immediately. Understand? But if you want a slow effect, you swallow. So it will not take a while for it to digest and go. But the swallowing actually lasts longer. So then we will lick. Your tongue will become blue. So that blue tongue now was more like a badge of prestige.
Maybe
Like a man
flex.
be this. You do on trips. Understand? You just be on trips like that. And I could remember the day because I used to be a power biker. Yeah. So I could remember the day I was on Refnol and police stopped me. My tongue was blue. And I had to lie that it was Baba Blue. I licked. I had to lie. I went to go and take Baba Blue and I showed her that it's Baba Blue. I licked and all. But the thing is, from Refnol, we started experimenting with crack. But normally, because Colorado is a new drug.
It's new.
Yes.
And that is new synthetic drug. Understand? So that will just spice it, will just take the weed or SK. Understand? Mostly you start with weed and mixture, they will not increase it to SK. Because the interesting thing about highness is that once you taste a particular level of highness, after a while, that highness no longer becomes sufficient. You want to increase dosage or try something to get it higher. Daddy, I don't know if you have noticed most times, it's as if usage of drugs is more like the pursuit of trying to get that first high you first had.
That is the thing. You can never
You
get
can
your
never
first
get it
time.
that first high back,
You
that
can't.
first feeling.
There's no day you are going to
It's like
get
a
the feeling
pursuit.
of
So
the
it's
first
like
high.
a snake trying to eat its own tail in pursuit of that first beginning.
Yeah.
That first feeling.
The first feeling.
So you try to always increase dosage. So that's how I increased, and we'll put crack in the weed, we'll wrap it up, understand, and smoke. You now do the whole puff pass. You get. But after I graduated from school, but before then, one of my friends' younger brother was sickle cell. Understand?
That's where the other drug.
Yes, the
you were
pentazocine
injecting.
came in.
Yeah.
Understand? So most of my pals were not taking the injection because most of them were scared of needles. Yeah. So my friend always this, and among our group, understand, these guys were like they are most ajebos. You get. So the brother was sickle cell. So we usually escort him sometimes to go take the injection. And sometimes my guy will also take it. I'll be like, how far? You'll be like, I'm on this high, the thing day nice. So now my brain have acknowledged that this one, another one, when see day nice. You get. So, but I didn't try it that period. Because I just felt not for sick people. I didn't try that period. Then after we graduated, and everybody have said splitted up, understand? I was still hustling. By then, I've opened my first salon in school. So while working, I realized that, being a biker, most times you get exposed to wind. So I was not feeling pneumonia, and I didn't know that was the case. I was feeling pain, so I couldn't make hair. Back then, ladies, back then when you buy Brazilian hair, we have to sew it on your head. You do center part, you bring your hair, stretch it. Yeah, so you have to stand up, and don't like now that wig is raining everywhere. So that was what happened, and I was feeling the pain. It was uncomfortable for me, and I had low threshold for pain. So I went to the chemist where we usually buy our stuffs. Now, we also have to understand is not all dealers stay in the bush. Some chemists are dealers.
Of course.
Yeah.
The chemists then when would they see for our neighborhood?
Exactly.
Yes, now.
You
Then
want
get
this or that?
they get a different counter where they drop those ones. They know their customers. So you won't be faced when they don't know. If you come, they say I don't have it, or they will ask for doctor's prescription. But when the registered members then come, are coded. So when I was not feeling this pain, I went to the chemist, and that is the area of self-medication.
Yes.
Understand? That's another loophole that most people fall prey into drugs
Self-medication leads to drug abuse.
So the way we grew up, it's more like they feel headache, go meet nurse, may nurse give you this. Understand? They feel belly, go meet nurse, may nurse. So we grew up with self-prescriptions. Understand? Missing cocktail, miss 200 naira flagyl, miss this one paracetamol, add solo. So I went to him and I was like, guy, I beg, I need drugs for pains. He gave me those drugs. They didn't actually work. I was still feeling the pain. I went back. Now, simple antibiotics would have solved that problem. Simple antibiotics. Now, I went back and he not told him that, how far? Since this one no work for you, what about that one when we say your guy they take now painkiller too, and the thing is strong, if he help you?
That's the person when be sickle cell patient.
Yes,
Yes, now.
understand. So no, this time around it was the chemist that was not suggesting it.
Yes, that
That my guy. Yes, that one they okay, and also the feeling they is sharp and all that. Say my pain will just disappear. Like, okay, because I've already had that curiosity of how does this injection feel. But just that I was scared of needles. You get. But this time around I was like, okay, try it. So they tied my hand, looked for vein here, and they injected the first one. And funny enough, within seconds, the pain disappeared.
What that pain when you been they feel since?
Disappeared. Listen. But the interesting thing is, it is not just the pain, the disappearance of the pain I inherited. I inherited a very nice feeling euphoria. All my body just sweets me. There was this tickling feeling all around, cool sensation in my throat. It's like, when you're having sex and you're ejaculating, that sensation all over your body. But this time around, this sensation was not like, ejaculation within seconds is all
This one
over.
lasted long.
But this one, it lasts hours. So you're in that euphoric moment for hours. So after I took it for like 3 hours, I was feeling, but before I knew it, I was still walking and the thing faded off. So it was as if the pain started resurrecting back again. So usual, I went back. I was like, guy, how far? The pain don't they come back? Oh, okay, they not give me another one again.
Oh.
This time around, actually, I was the one that requested they give me another one again because I enjoyed it the first time.
No vex. Before you go into all these other details, how long did this last?
The first
The
one.
period from the first time you took the medication or this drug till the next time you went back for it?
I think about 3 to 4 hours.
Hours.
3 to 4
You went back
hours.
the same day?
Yes.
Yes, now. It works
Yes.
with your blood. And when you start peeing, it's getting out of the
Out.
system.
Sunday, within a couple of hours. Understand? Because to be honest, I enjoyed the feeling so much that I didn't want to understand. Like, I just wanted to experience it again. So this time around, the pain became an excuse to take the injection.
Exactly.
So I went back, he gave me another one. It became a consistent habit. Yeah, keep occurring. Sometimes when I'm going to my shop, the first thing I'll just drive by, I'll stop and take first. One for the road.
And this thing are for your hand.
For my hand.
Veins now.
Now, see where the danger, see where, let me use the phrase, sorry for the F word, see where I fuck up. And at some point, due to the consistency of taking it, my finances was now beginning to get shaky.
Of
Always the
course.
Yeah.
case.
How much did it cost?
Then a packet was 2,000. Some places sell 2,500. While
That
some sell
packet
3,000.
consists of what?
10 ampoules.
So,
And you used to use it for how long?
Okay. Initially it was 1-1. I'm coming there. Now, after a while, that 1-1, the feeling was no longer lasting long anymore.
Yeah.
Something that used to last up to 3 hours, 4 hours before was no longer lasting up to 30 minutes. So I had to go back complain. So they increased the dosage from 1 to 2.
Jesus Christ.
After a while, 2 was no longer working now. We had to increase it to 3.
that's what happened to Michael Jackson.
Before, after a while, when I noticed that the consistent buying, because whenever they want to inject me, they will charge me extra for administering that I will buy and I'll have to pay for them. So I was like, that's me paying them. It's me leaking money. This is something I can do myself now. It's not my vein. Now there I fuck up. So what I now started doing, when I go, I'll buy syringe, I'll buy 2 mil needle,
Ew.
understand? And I used to buy little portion by portion before. But at some point I started buying a pack. Because I just felt the stress of always going to and fro. Understand? You go understand now.
And
because
it's cheaper to buy in bulk.
not really cheaper. But the thing is, you will not want to go through the stress of having to fill that vacuum.
And
Hey.
even the guilt of why this guy they come every time.
No, not really. It's actually because when it comes to the euphoria, the word be damned.
True.
Understand? The word be damned.
You know what they call craving?
send anybody.
Nothing matters. Understand? So I just feel okay. I'll just buy a pack. Understand? I used to take it 2 back then. Before I knew, I started injecting myself. And from there, from 2, I increased it. Before I knew it, I was taking 1 pack in the morning,
Chim.
1 pack in the afternoon, 1 pack in the
One
evening.
full
You're
pack.
gone.
Chim.
So it became like more breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Exactly.
You wake up. In short, I always make sure that I have an extra pack remaining for me in the morning when I wake up, so that's the first thing I do to start my day.
We call it cure. You cure
You gotta cure yourself now.
in the morning. Once you wake up, you don't cure, you can't function.
You can't function. You get? So it's more like you live in a euphoric life. It's like your life, you can't function properly without being in that euphoria. If you're not in that euphoria, everything becomes irritating.
Yeah.
Everything becomes offensive. Understand? Small thing, someone that just mistakenly just tap you, say hi, you begin to spark up. So I now increased it. I was not taking it like that. Before I knew it, I increased it from 1 pack. And don't forget, it's 10.
Oh no.
It's 10. I increased it from 1 pack to 2 pack. So 2 pack in the morning, 2 pack in the afternoon, 2 pack. So that's like 60 ampoules every day.
Injected into your own
System.
Yeah. So now you mentioned about the scars. If I show you something like my right hand you will notice there are no scars here. Understand? Except here. And that's because I'm right-handed.
Is it the one?
So it's difficult for me to use my left hand to get veins here. But since I'm right-handed,
Destroyed your left hand.
the left hand paid the price. So I couldn't get much vein here. Understand? Because I couldn't get due to I used to be a very chubby person. Understand? I couldn't get much vein here. So it was mostly here.
Hell.
So when I tie usually here to stop the blood flow, here swells a bit to make the vein
Vein
show.
should pop up.
Yeah, to pop up. So before you know, you trace the vein, you get it. The thing is, if you drag it back and no blood flows, it means you have not gotten the vein.
You go again.
So you have to remove it and choke yourself again.
Puncture that place.
You have already punctured that place. Who cares about cutting wood to stop bleeding? Who cares?
want
Who
to
cares?
take your
Who cares
drug.
about bleeding?
You want to
For
get
real,
high.
you just want to. So, and that time there's a phrase that usually occur in your mind. It's more like no pain, no gain.
Exactly.
Because you know that the moment you get that euphoria, the pain, you forget about the pain and every other thing. So I'll try. Sometimes I can try up to 10 times, choking myself with needle up to like 10 times before I'm able to get the vein. Then if I drag and I see blood at the edge of the needle, I know, okay, I've gotten it. Then I have to now push it in. And since it's intravenous, because the injection can be taken IM or IV. Okay, so IM works very slow. You don't really feel the effect that much. But IV is like straight up into your vein and you start feeling it immediately. So it was mostly IV. So when I inject and I get it, I push. Sometimes you might inject and mistakenly move your distance and the needle will come out from the vein.
Oh my God.
And you won't know. You will not keep injecting until they start swelling. You now realize that no, I don't miss them. And you now stopping. It's not because your body is swelling. It's because you don't want to waste what you have in your syringe. Understand? Because you know whatsoever is raising there, that's one I waste. And sometimes if you remove it and you still have extra, you now have to refill to get that dosage because you know that small one no go reach you. You don't already waste on some place.
So you ditched other drugs for this?
Yes. Now before this time, I've
Which
already
one is
stopped.
more potent.
Understand? See, because the truth is, when it comes to drugs, someone that gets addicted to let's say experiments with, let's say, weed or SK might not get addicted to it. But you might experiment with Colorado and get addicted to it. It all boils down to what you fancy and how the euphoria. Like he said, not all drugs make you all over the place. Some make you slow, some make you so. Meaning, if you take the one that is compatible with your enjoyment and dopamine system, your brain hold on to it. And this one was more compatible. So it was when I inject like that. So at some point, this place, there's a way you inject a particular vein for so long, it will become stiff. It will no longer be usable. Seriously, Daddy, am I lying?
You're not lying.
It will become, you no longer be able to use it. When they wanted to do my surgery, they couldn't find any vein. Yes. They couldn't find any vein. So I would inject and inject. Before I knew it, this hand started decaying.
Decaying.
Yes,
Of
but
course now, who's-
you know the interesting part? Before the decaying started, it started from the inside my body. I'll be at the salon, people will start complaining that they won't complain to me directly, they'll be complaining to colleagues that
Something is
it's smelling.
Something is smelling. Yeah.
That's something is smelling. So my body was decaying from inside. That my outside was okay. Nobody knew. Now, see the interesting part. That same period was when I rounded up youth service. And my second shop was on the way. I got a job by favor. I did not apply for the job. It was based on someone that knew my previous customer when I was still into furniture line that was proud of me that I was now graduated and said to employ me into his company. No, see, like, it was other people, they go move around for job. Me, I get them on the platter. But I didn't stay in that job up to, I'm not sure if I stay up to 4 months, I'll be 5 months. I will enter the office, everybody have to rush to go and off the AC, understand, open windows,
Hold on.
and understand because of the offensive odor that was coming out of my body. Then the ones that at some point, and based on that, because it was the boss that actually employed me, that's why they just saw me as Oga boy. So most of them couldn't approach me. Then the ones that were a bit closer to me, think that guy be using perfume now. Your body was getting. So they assumed it was body odor. And I will spray perfume, nothing. Imagine for company to do staff meeting, because every month they do staff meeting, and me company. So at the end of the meeting, the company had to tell me that I had to go on sick leave. That what exactly is wrong with me and all that. I tried to beat around the bush, and all. Like, didn't want to make them understand I'm also, because they kept complaining that sometimes they see blood stains in the bathroom. Because definitely when they try inject, blood go fall.
Wait,
They
they inject
for
inside the company.
Not. Okay, this guy never really complimented you at all. Bros, like, that was my best like, I feel no weird cloth, but I'll carry them. If you go through my old videos, you see that there was always one bag I was carrying. Yes, I usually carry. Now in the full inside. I'll be walking sometimes, the craving will come. I'll look for the nearest fast food, enter their toilets. By the time I chick come out, all smiles.
Yeah.
But as you're going all serious in the hurry.
Euphoria.
And sometimes you'll be inside the toilet, still trying to get the vein, they'll be knocking, go the shout for person when they knock for toilets. You know, you see a person they here, because in they distract your attention, especially when you say don't almost get the vein, person can't knock, distract you. Then you can't start from scale one again, can't start for vein. So I'll be like that, and I'll try. So at that point, I was injecting at the office. I'll carry extra. I'll put it. We are almost in short, I barely go anywhere. Even church without carrying extra. Because I know the craving can come anytime, or the ones I am on can expire anytime. So you always have to carry backup. Because you don't want to be in a place where your craving hooks you and withdrawal syndrome comes and you have nothing to replace. So before I knew it, I started selling off my properties. That's it. See, when I was in school, like in my set, I was the only student using a power bike in the whole of Uniport. Thank God now, open air broadcast be this, so anybody can come and tell me that hey, na lie, I did lie. In Ofrima back then, if anybody sabi Uniport, they sabi Ofrima. That time, my nickname used to be Ghost Rider. Have you watched the movie Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
That kind of bike was what I was using. A Harley Davidson. So I was using a classic. Like, I was doing so well in school that even Yahoo boys thought I was a Yahoo boy. That was how well I was doing in school. So imagine as no be papa money, no be my own hustle. That same power bike, if I was to sell that Harley Davidson at least 3-point-something million back then, guess how much I sold it?
Peanuts.
35,000.
Hey,
Jesus
if you
Christ.
don't buy.
The person to me at that point, the person was doing me a favor. You never did sell your product when you say craving hold you before. Anybody went to help you with money that time, whether na him buy am from you or anything, that person is like the God of your life. So at that point, I was just everywhere. The company had to let me go. Understand? So the thing is, they had to like put me on sick leave that I should go treat myself and come back.
At what point did it start coming to your hand?
Okay, it was shortly after that period. I now noticed that blisters we gather. They will swell, gather water, they will burst. Instead of them to heal. And one thing is, why I didn't really pay concern to it is that I felt, okay, maybe now where I inject one, no inject where. They will burst. Instead of them to heal, they'll start decaying. So I didn't know those blisters where the decay from inside was now surfacing out. So it was not as if my red blood cells were being attacked by my white blood cells. So no healing was taking place. So my body started decaying from inside out. And the funny thing is, since I could no longer find vein, I started injecting the wound. I'll look for where there is healthy skin tissue that is red.
My God.
I will inject it. I will drag it. If blood flows, I'll press it there. So I injected this hand until you can see all here. Until all the
That's almost
flesh.
your bone.
Yeah, this is my bone. There is no flesh.
Oh my
here.
God.
All the muscles and this that were here have all gone out. Understand? So you can tap and see that it's just bone that is here now. Unlike here.
Oh
Sure.
my God, I can't tap. I'm sorry.
There's no all the flesh here is gone. So I inject and inject and inject. So when I found out that there was no more, my bones were already showing and no healthy tissues were coming out and all, I stopped injecting and I went to my leg.
Hell.
Your leg.
Yes, that was the
There's
next
vein
place.
there
That was
now.
the next place I found vein.
Ew.
Jesus Christ.
So injecting my leg. Inject and inject and here. This one said decaying.
You went to the.
Yes.
Oh.
You took the second leg as well.
This one said see the recover. As I'm talking to you now, I'm partially disabled.
Can you show us
No.
the second one?
Don't forget, I told you I used to be a dancer.
Yes.
As I'm talking to you, all like this leg now that I can move to and fro.
It's even swollen.
Yeah, it's still swollen till today. Because according to what they told me in the hospital, that's no space for the fluids that goes down to come up. Most of the tissues and all that are gone. So I have to wait for that the swelling will reduce gradually. It was bigger than this now.
Let's see the second one.
Then the second one is worse. It's almost still
It's still
covering.
bandaged. Oh.
It's been how long now? 4 years.
Now the interesting thing, yes, it's been 4 years.
And
When
it's
I
still
did
like
skin
this.
grafting, because they took flesh from my laps here
To cover it.
to cover it. You can see all here that is black. Now flesh they collect from my laps. This cover all the flesh where they here don't come out.
Ew.
Now this particular place, you can see that it's still healing and covering.
Yes.
Meaning,
It's like that's the bone or something. 'cause
yeah,
that's-
this is the bone. There's no flesh. You can see all here is gone. All here too is gone.
Oh.
Listen. So basically, when they did the surgery, the skin grafting, the team failed.
Okay.
So meaning I had to wait for it to start healing naturally, taking antibiotics and all that, using Sofra to dress the wound. So meaning all this healing now that I've gotten to, all these places were no black before now. They'll be red like here before. But they stay carrying. So it's just remaining small.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this place now is not dried up. That's why you're using the bandage.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
It's remaining small. But the thing is, I don't feel pain anymore. Due to the excess injecting now, if there was one day I was cooking and something hot dropped on my
I didn't
leg,
feel it.
I didn't even feel it. I didn't notice.
Cells are dead.
So later when I just noticed that there was like a pinch, that's when I looked and I saw that there was something hot on my leg.
Jesus.
That was how bad it was.
Oh my God.
I had to like dust it off. So right now, this you can see the only thing I can move is my toe.
Yeah, and it feels like it's breathing.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because the muscles that are supposed to move to and fro are all gone.
Disconnected.
Unlike this one that I can move around. You can see. This one, gone. There was a time they wanted to amputate this leg. It was totally gone. And funny thing is, before I come here, now here I be the inject. I inject here, see, no flesh again. Still bone. So when here, I couldn't see where to inject again. I came here. And I started injecting here, injecting and injecting and injecting. Then imagine where at some point the decay became so bad that maggots were now coming out of my body.
Ew.
Maggots were coming out of your body.
Yes. Maggots. I go wake up for morning, the first thing I would do now to the dust maggot come off my body.
Oh.
You remember when I say when I came out from rehab that I was homeless? The reason the landlord gave was because after I went to the hospital, they noticed that maggots keep crawling out of my room.
Oh God.
So they packed the things inside the room and burnt it.
Oh.
So imagine a situation. Is it okay if I close it now?
It's okay. It's okay if you.
All right.
Oh God.
So in a situation like that, I kept injecting and injecting. I couldn't stop. Now, when this place finished, I came here. Now, sometimes the maggots will eat into the flesh. I'll have to use needle to start picking them out.
Hey.
It decayed to the extent that my bones were showing. In short, my bones started decaying, so I could see the crack. And there's some flesh inside the bone.
Ah.
So sometimes those flesh will be healthy. So if I look around, no healthy flesh to inject, I'll go and inject inside my bone.
Ah.
That healthy flesh.
Where were your parents? Where was your mother? Where was your father when you were doing this to yourself?
Actually-
it was already a man. Yeah.
No. Apart from that,
Accountability
actually,
to some extent.
that's another place where I fucked up. Okay? Because my parents actually did not respond well to it. And I don't blame them. Because most parents in our society don't know how to handle issue of drugs. So to them, it was more of anger mixed with disappointment. Because come on, my daddy, they used me boast before. Like he was a civil servant. He worked in NEPA. That's where he retired. That time he would drive me to his office and his friends would be doubting him that nobody born this boy. So I was like the person he brags with.
His pride.
His pride. His pride. Like out of all the children, I'm the one I think he invested on the most.
What position were you in the family?
I'm the fourth child.
Fourth child.
Yes. The third son. And so it was more like it broke his heart. And he didn't know how to respond, but with anger and rejection.
Oh.
You know, with that normal statement of nobody do yourself, who send you? And at this point, I was dying looking for help. And the closest people are my family. But they didn't understand the situation. All they had was just anger and stigma and who sent you.
Even your mom?
My mom was supportive because but at the same time, it was breaking her. My mom that time, because she did not understand. My mom is not educated. Okay, she's just a housewife. So that time she would put salt inside water. Because she thought it was just normal wound. Understand? To help it. Because she was concerned about the odor that was coming out. She said it will help disinfect it.
Hey.
Understand? So I have a picture. I have a picture of that when the stuff started in the room. I'll put my leg inside the water and hoping that it will disinfect it and all that.
Meanwhile, you go still go inject yourself for back.
I was still injecting. No before back.
You know the feeling.
And your
You never
family were
tasted it.
aware that it was drugs that was causing it.
Yes. But at some point, what actually made me leave home, nobody knew when I left home, was the day I was inside the room. Sometimes I'll sit after taking it. I'll just sit like this. I'll just be staring at one particular place for hours. My body is there. I'm no longer there. You go look plain wall. You go to see the wall, go they change, they give shapes.
Astral without chanting.
I swear, I guess so. So I'll just be like this in one particular spot. The world no longer existed. I was trapped in my own mind. And that's the worst prison to be. Because if you're in a police cell, someone can bail you. Understand? If you're in a house, you're trapped in a house, someone can break the door and bring you out. But how do you save someone that is entrapped in his own mind? That is why addiction is a battle that only the victim can fight. The others can only help support him to come out. But it's difficult to bring out an addict that is not willing to try.
Exactly.
That's not willing to try. No matter how much you pour into it or invest into it, if the person have not yet seen a reason to stop, forget it.
And that is why, as a therapist, you call me, ask you, is he willing?
That's the first
Is he
thing.
the one that told you and said, Daddy, I need help. I want to stop. If it's not the one, it's you that want to, you're wasting your time and money. And let me tell you, treatment of addiction now is very expensive. In Lagos. There are rehabs down Lekki Road. Per month is 3 million plus. And you spend 3 months, that's about 9 million. I'm not telling you what I'm a therapist.
And in government facilities,
And
I don't think there's anywhere I know that in government facilities that is less than 500,000
For one person.
Yes.
one person. And nobody says
This
now
one's
all through the treatment too.
This ones I'm talking about is private. 3.2 million, 3.5,
Which is even more
3
credible.
million. Yeah, and then you are not even sure that the person is not going to relapse.
See, there is no guarantee. I told you that I went into rehabs a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's on a different gist entirely. When beside the sneaking drug enter inside hospital, I'll tell my driver, I'll tell my driver, may hide them inside bread.
Yeah.
Inside rehab.
Hey,
You still a sneak enter.
So, sir, as a therapist, is it possible for someone to escape drug addiction without rehab and therapy?
There's divine intervention. Like mine was divine. But before, the first time I was treated for drugs was in San Francisco. The role I play in the band, Fela saw me as an asset. I'm the only musician that worked with Fela till the end. Most of the time when we travel, musicians will run away in Europe and America. And I'm a multi-instrumentalist. So when we get back, we help train new guitarists, new bassists and all that. So there was one time we were in San Francisco and I couldn't find drugs. So I was jonesing. And me, I can't climb the stage. Before I climb stage, I must have taken close to 3 grams of crack and 2 grams of heroin. I start smoking around 8. I'm going to climb the stage by 11. Otherwise, if I'm not high, if you just twang your guitar, it's like I want to run mad. The sound makes me crazy. I'll be feeling some sensation. And so we got to San Francisco, no drug. I was cold and all that. So they had to take me to a clinic. And then they were moving. They were finished performing. They were moving ahead to Houston, Texas. So I was in that clinic for 3 days. Passed drills, blah, 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 And the 3rd day, discharged me. I took my passport and my ticket. I was to take a local flight from Frisco to Houston. But as I was walking past the building that has glasses, I saw my reflection. Like I was looking fresh, and I'm like, really? I just, in my head somewhere, do you think you can stop this thing? That was how I thumbed the yellow cab. Cab came. I first told him airport. Then I asked him, I said, see, I'm a junkie.
Oh.
I'm clocking, I need some drugs. He said, you should have told me. He drove me to red light district. Parked. I paid him and he pointed to an iron door that leads to underground. He said, go there, tap that door. And when I tapped, they opened. When I entered, the heat that came, smoke, junkies. I went down. I ordered for cocaine. I hit the cocaine. At first, I was not feeling anything. After a while, I started feeling. Then I wanted to step down. So I said they should give me heroin. When I chased the dragon, it didn't work. So I grabbed the dealer and said, what did you sell to me? This is not working. And the guy said, calm down. Are you just coming from the rehab? I said, I'm not coming from the rehab. I'm coming from a regeneration clinic. He said, you should have told me. He said, why don't you try injection? So that was the day I started shooting from here, But I didn't like shooting. I did it for a while. When I'm in Nigeria, there's no need to shoot now. I can always get drugs. Yeah, I can always get drugs. I had my boys. I'm the Capone of African Shrine.
Period.
I had boys, man. If you read some of my comments, somebody say I was a gang leader. Yeah, I had boys. I trained boys. I was a hard man. It was drugs that turned me to that. So at times, if I don't have money, I'll go and raid where they sell drugs. Yeah, I'll go with boys, beat them up, collect the drugs and the money they sold for the day, and go back. Fela Shrine is a territory now. That's Kalakuta Republic. We are a country inside a country. You don't mess with us. So that was my first treatment. I was treated in New Jersey. I was treated in Off-Bank in Germany. I was treated in Lyon, Paris, Marseille. I was treated in Scotland, all over, man. But I couldn't stop. So that's why I say divine. The day I stopped drug, it was in a prostitute hotel. It was salvation that stopped me from drug. Somewhere in Ojuelegba, Akbeno Street, there's a brothel there where girls take one room, it's like guest house. Yeah, guest house. So I was standing in front of shrine one of these days and the policeman came from Area F and told me, Keji, the DPO said if we arrest you again, we should waste you. I said, what did I do? He said all these boys in the Keji, anytime they steal or rob, when we catch them, they say you are the one that sent them. Remember I said I was a Capone. If anything miss from Pepple Street to Kudeso to Keji Industrial Estates, straight to before maybe Towing Street and all that, I must know about it. Because all the bad guys will have to come and get high now. So I was with one of my girlfriend, a prostitute, and all my life I never dated a normal girl. prostitutes were my girlfriends. And that was because they helped me to keep my eye on, Yeah, so I was one of these girls, an Igbo girl. When this policeman came and was telling me that, they said they will waste me. And I said, what do I do? He said, just leave Ikeja area. All my life I was in Ikeja. So this girl left us, came back 3 hours later. I was very high. I was thinking about death. And the policeman is gone. And the girl said, Keji, I don't want you to die. I found a place in Okodugha that you can stay. That's how I followed her to this brothel. And I checked the room. It was okay. Black and white TV, fan. All right. Called the manager, paid for 6 months. Started staying. 3 days later, had 2 other prostitutes, 3 girls and me, we were hanging out. May 7, 1994, at about 10:30, 11, they were dressed, they want to go and hustle. 2 of them used to hustle on Ayilara Street. One of them used to come on this street that is where you used to have Fantasy Club, that Chinese restaurant in the Koida, that road. After they left, I branched a place called Texas in Okodugha. I bought 2 grams of coke and 2 grams of H. Go back to the room, cook the coke. I was one of the best chefs in Lagos. Yeah, that's what you call people that cook coke. I used to cook for traditional rulers because you people think that it's just cocaine is called the millionaire's game. If you ask me, I will tell you that there are bank executives that do drugs. I will tell you that there are senators that do drugs. I don't hide it. I mean, a man of my age, you know where I'm coming from. So it's a millionaire's game that he's talking about. There are people that smoke with their houses, 3 houses, cars. You just drive your car to the bank and tell the dealer, I need drugs, I don't have money. Please hold this paper.
Hey.
Give me 5 grams. The dealer will take the paper, give you 5 grams. 5 grams, when will it last you? Under 1 hour, you have finished it. You say, give me another 5, he will give you. Say, give me another 5, he give you. When you ask for another 5, he say, come. He has made a document that if you don't pay all that money, the car is his. And you will not even read it. You sign. These things happen. House papers. Now let me check you as a therapist. I know a man, when he was treated in the rehab, the day he graduated, one of his daughters, they are twins, the one that traveled to America, traveled down and was thanking me. Thank you for saving my father. He said, when we were babies, there was a day my father carried me and my sister. It was Johnson. And he went into a shop, an Igbo guy shop, and say, I beg, borrow me 5,000 naira. The man say, hold this speaking.
Hey!
And he never came back. And now these girls were big. The one in America was mine. So
yeah, you were talking about when you went and got the coke and the H and went back.
You like that thing?
I like the gist. It was flowing well.
Anyway, so I got back. I cooked the coke. I first took the pirate. I said, no, let me use bunker. So I prepared my bunker. I put and then to smoke in bunker, you light cigarette and put it so that it will be burning. You need the ashes. Because bunker is like, you just take this water, uncork it, and then pour half of it out, light a cigarette, put the fire of the cigarette here like this so that it melts, then you puncture it. Then you put the biro, the plastic, you remove the biro, the plastic, you put it in here like a pipe, okay?
That's like shisha or something.
Yeah, yes. But if you want to change the flavor, you can empty the whole water and pour brandy inside. So that when you are smoking, the smoke will be tasting like brandy. You understand? So we try all manners of things. So when you do that, then you foil paper, you put it here and probably use a rubber band to hold it or tie it with thread. And then you take needle or pin to put small holes here. So when those small holes are there, now the ashes that are born out of the cigarettes, you put it on top of these small holes. So that when you put the crack, it will not just dissolve. So now that is ready. You take the crack that you have cooked, put on top of this, carry lighter, put here, and then put this one in your mouth. When you pull, the smoke come. You understand what I'm saying? You drag it. So I've done that. I took the crack, I put it as I pick it up to put the lighter, I just heard, young man, if you don't stop this kind of lifestyle, you die this year. I've never been afraid. Fella told us that fear is not for man. Now go to the run and man they stand. If you're a Kalakutan, we don't fear anything. You understand what I'm saying? So I when I heard that voice, I looked around like, who is talking here? Yeah, I just convinced myself that my mind was playing games. So I pulled the lighter, took the heat, bam! As the smoke hit my chest, a sharp pain as if somebody put a knife inside my heart from the back. So I screamed and I felt like throwing up. My heart was shifting. I was about to have a cardiac arrest. But then I vomited. Because of the intense pain, my eyes were closed when I vomited. Then when I opened my eyes, what did I see? It was blood that I vomited. First thing that came to my mind is that, they have finally got me. They are poisoning these drugs. On the second thought, I said, that voice said if I don't stop, what am I going to do? Then it dawned on me. I was born a Muslim. My real name is Suleiman. My father was a chief imam. From there, I joined Fela. And I started worshiping Shango, Yemoja, Ogun, Shopana with Fela in Shrine. Now, many times people have tried to preach to me. I don't listen. In fact, I started smoking weed with the pages of the Bible in my hotel room in Belgium. But that day, I asked myself, and I've done a lot of, when you talk about jazz, I mean, you can't live there and not do jazz now. You understand what I'm saying? And based on some of the things, I needed a lot of initiations have happened, So I just said to myself, you have tried everything, no? The only thing you don't want to try is this Jesus they are saying. Then I asked myself, how do they even pray to this Jesus? I don't even know. So I said, I know what I'll do. I took off my clothes and I just said, you, this Jesus, if it is true that you can save, if you can deliver me from drug addiction, I will serve you all the days of my life. I didn't know what happened. This was around 12:30 early in the morning, midnight morning. When I opened my eyes later, it was 8:30 the next day, a.m. And I was on the floor. And I stood up like, what happened? Because as at that stage, I've done drugs for like 14 years. Between 7 p.m. and 12 midnight, if I've not smoked close to 25,000 naira, I'm talking 1994, I can't sleep.
Okay.
But this particular night, I've not taken anything. The first hit I want to take, I felt that pain and I vomited. So I was shocked that I slept from 12:30 to 8:30. So as I sat on the bed, was still thinking, I just heard a voice say, you think you can stop this thing?
The same voice.
I said, okay, let me see. I called for breakfast. They served me breakfast. I ate. The normal stomach churning me didn't come. I wasn't feeling any pain in my joints. I was not sweating. I was not feeling heat. I said, what is happening? Then the first thing I thought of was, okay, let me go to that place I bought this drug yesterday. And I walked down. As I was walking down to the place, I was now seeing junkies. And that was the first time I saw what a junkie looked like. All the time I was smoking, I didn't see anything wrong. When I saw the first girl, I saw another guy. Tears just came out from my eyes. I said, what? Are these the people you hang out with? Of course, I went straight. I entered the bunk. A guy was smoking laced weed. And he said, Keji, Wagburo. I just laughed. I said, you see that thing you are smoking? Till I would die. I can't taste it. The guy started laughing. He said, you that came here yesterday night? So he ran into the bunk and called others. They now came. So this one will say, I give you 2 days. I give you 1 week. I give you 1 month. I give you 7 months.
They were very generous. They give you 1 month.
Yes, I was looking at them. So I was just telling them. So one of them said, what happened? I said, I don't know what happened. Oh, but yesterday night, that I just said, Jesus, blah, blah. They laughed. I said, go sit down. Wait till you know. You they go church, blah, blah. And I walked out. That was 32 years ago.
And you never looked back.
Till now.
Wow.
And from that day to today, every Thursday, I'm in drug community. I'm supposed to be in a drug community today.
Mm.
It's because of this interview I came. And this should be the second time in 32 years that I've not gone to that place on a Thursday. The first time was when I had to record. And I told my producer that, look, this thing you are making me do is like breaking a covenant. So I see drugs every day.
Yeah, but I mean, you're here and you're reaching out to people as
Of
well.
course,
so
yes.
it's ministry too.
But you see that one, man, that one is my blood, man. It's my blood. Yeah, it's my blood. I spend everything there, of course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Keji, let's hold this and let's go to Abraham. So, Abraham, you tell us when you decided that I am done and the recovery process, just like the way Mr. Keji detailed his own experience.
Okay, at least your own better. Ahead now, your own better. You don't ask for help and God came through for you. My own is, I prayed, I made that vow you made. I would never do. See, there's one thing we have to understand there. When you're advising a junkie, it's not like the junkie does not actually hear what you're saying or understand or wants to stop. That you go to talk now, go to cry. Good, they go to cry. You with tears. And you feel like, oh, he heard me. The next moment the craving comes, like, no, I just talk to finish. No. It's because at that point in time, they no longer have control over it. I know how many times I vowed, like, God, I will never take this again. If I take him, let me die. You go just there as if the craving, they one side, they wait for you. The craving go just cross leg, keep on like this. They tell you, now the craving self, now go they follow you, they shout amen. You like, I will not do this again. The craving go say amen. Oh Lord, this is beyond amen. Immediately you just talk the last amen, finish, open eye, craving will come tap you. Kodila, mogo. Nothing else. You even forget that you just finished praying. So at least, unlike him, that he was not, how do I put it? He was not a Christian-oriented person from the beginning. Me, I knew God from as much as I could remember. So prayer, fasting, and all that were not new. I went to churches, understand? Took assignments. I would go native doctor. Yes. You know that kind of a thing where people tell you that this is a village, now from village, this is not be ordinary hand. Understand? I went to native doctor. Understand? Even the native doctor where I go, they tell you, say, bring sacrifice, do this. Nothing come out. Understand? So, at some point, I attempted suicide 3 times.
Hey.
Yes, because I hated myself.
Okay.
Because at this point, you don't do like this, you get money, if you enter motor.
Hey.
You go stop taxi like this, enter taxi go just hold or emergency brake. Tell you, say, come down, I need to go again.
Smell.
Yeah, it's smelling.
You are booming.
I was a decaying zombie. Walking Dead.
Yeah.
All those zombies. Only be say zombie need is walking stick, but my own walking stick there, I can't graduate to wheelchair. Yes. It was so bad that my mom, when she wants to come close to me, she will have to wear nose mask.
Chimo.
She will have to wear nose mask. That was how disturbed. Una they comfortable. Una they breathe air under AC. Well done. If it was before, I go walk out front of this building, this whole place. Hours later, it's still smelling like a rotten corpse was discovered. So I could not go to any social gatherings. Some churches I went to, because of how irritating I looked. Listen, I could remember when I went to one prominent church to seek for help. And I got, at this point, now this is where my recovery journey started. I had to, you remember in the beginning of of this podcast, I mentioned that there was a woman that played a vital role in my life.
Yes.
So she was the only person I could not lie to. And at this point in time, she was already making moves to get me a job in an oil company. The husband was already helping me prepare because the husband worked in Shell. Understand? And he was already helping me prepare my CV. You get? Now, but I was feeling that guilt. Like, mommy does not know about this, so understand? By the time mommy make all these efforts and get this job, use her dignity to get this thing for me, and I go and ruin it. So I now had to, like, instead of her to find out, understand, elsewhere, let me open up to her. I now told her that, mommy, this, so I'm addicted to drugs. So that's why the thing is, when you're looking, when you want to come out, apart from forgiving yourself, accountability is very important.
Yes.
Look for someone you look up to, someone you can respect and that you can open up to, that you are accountable to. Because if it's just you, your willpower don't go. You no longer value yourself, because if you value yourself, you're not going to kill yourself. So now you now need that external factor of influence to help you. So I now told her about my addiction. For the first time since this woman knew me, this woman cried like a baby.
Yeah.
Because this is a woman that had high hopes for me. This woman was part of my life from secondary school till I graduated. The only picture of my graduation I have today, now that woman stand with me for the picture. So when I told her, she was heartbroken. Understand? At home, she was crying and crying. The husband had to tell her that it's not like this boy is dead yet. Understand? Why not? Let's just look for a solution out. That was how my first rehab I got admitted into my first rehab. So when I got admitted, because me, I did not really understand the depth of what I was dealing with. And one thing with drugs is, if you stop using, you notice that your body will begin to come back to normal. That's how you go begin to fresh back again. So I was in rehab and we were just eating drugs and all that. So I noticed all the sores that was in my body started healing. That's how I've healed it everywhere. I've healed and all that. By then the leg never they swell, all these things never they come out. So I was like, this was when the blisters started coming out. So I was like, I'm okay now. See, I know this is a podcast, but let me just give this advice to anyone struggling with addiction out there. Be careful not to fall into the trap of overconfidence. Be careful. That's a trap in my heart. It's a self-sabotage. For real. So I stayed like 1 month in rehab and I was confident that, don't worry, I've stopped. I can't go back to this again. Not after what? No. And you know one thing about some therapists? Some of these therapists, doctors, when they treat malaria, feel ever sick malaria before. Now, waiting to see for textbook.
Exactly.
Now they try repeat, waiting the teacher. So some of these therapists now, just waiting they teach them for university, now they replicate.
Exactly.
So they tell you to watch out for symptoms, his dedication, his signs, his this. So what happens when the person meets all the marks?
You don't pass now.
You don't pass, not for them to go. And with the way I was, and don't forget, before now I was a preacher, like a motivational speaker, so I know how to quote the right phrase. So I was serious, and genuinely to me, I was serious. I really wanted to stop. After then, I insisted because I was feeling like, mommy, they waste money for this place. I don't wear, maybe they let me go.
Sure.
But I didn't know that was the addiction playing a trick on me. See, when your brain gets to that state where it needs comfort, because the truth is, all man are in pursuit of happiness. All man is in pursuit of is happiness. The reason why you work, why do you work? To make money. Why do you want to make money?
To be comfortable, to be happy.
Exactly. We're in pursuit of happiness. And this time around now, your brain don't get a shortcut to dodge the process and get this happiness.
Quick fix.
Yes, a quick fix. And at this point, when you no longer get it, your brain manipulates itself to make you believe that escape route, and that escape can be channeled or navigated or scripted in any way. So I believe that, okay, I was good. And I imposed that they discharged me. So my, that lady had no other option. We're like, okay, let's discharge him since he's good. And I got discharged. I was only able to stay like 2 weeks.
This was the first time you went to rehab.
Yes.
So after you were discharged, where did you go to? Was there a home to go to? What happened after your discharge?
Good. Now, after my discharge, that was where I now left home. Because after the discharge, after 2 weeks, I relapsed. And this lady got angry that, like, she was disappointed after all the effort. So she withdrew. And that made me feel abandoned. Because this was the closest person. This was the only pillar I had. So I felt like I was a There's something she always raised me up with. There's a slogan she always raised me up with. It's Abraham, never disappoint God or the few people that believe in you. Right from my days in secondary school. So it was as if my life was channeled towards that. So at that point, when she withdrew, it was as if I have broken that oath. I've disappointed both God and the few people that believed in me.
So I want you to explain in detail now. When you left rehab, the home that you went back to was home of mommy and daddy? Or
Yes, my family house.
Your family house?
Yes.
Now, tell us what happened that 2 weeks period.
Before you relapse.
When relapse can happen.
Okay, that 2 weeks period, I was idle. And idleness is
Devil's
a recipe
workshop.
for disaster for someone recovering from drugs. That was the error. I was idle. So I was always at home and all that, nothing to do. I was idle. So sometimes when the craving comes, I'll try to still hold it and be like, no, I'm not going to take him. No, I'm not going to take him. But the truth is, motivation can only take you so far. All it takes is just one emotional clash and you become vulnerable. So that's what happened. I relapsed. And after I relapsed, that's when I now told you that I was at home. I would just be staring at one place. My dad now came. I was like, you see you? See your life? What be the difference between you and a madman like this now? Like, it's just there like this, just turn useless. I felt so bad for what he said. And in my mind, I was like, if the family I have, understand, don't want to help me and just watching me die, it's better I leave and I know that I don't have a family. So that's how I left. And I was staying in one room somewhere around school because that's the familiar environment for me and I know all the joints and all that. So I started staying there. And me that used to own a place of my own before, had to now look for somewhere to start working. And I was always injecting myself. So no more supervision, no more restriction.
Hey.
And the person when you've been they look up to don't also withdraw.
So right now, there was nothing stopping me. That was me going all in. I said just injecting. So at some point when I became too broke, understand, to keep funding, I now started, billing. You know, that's when we say you go broke, you come call person, construct one serious thing. See, when person, they always call you every time. And the help when they call you for, they always the urgent of na.
Them.
And most times now, okay, even though a small thing. And this person is someone that on a normal day should not be begging for something like that. Please investigate. And besides, also, apart from being suspicious of drugs, come on now, if you have a friend that was okay and all of a sudden he's always calling for an urgent help and all that, you as a good friend should investigate what's going on.
Drugs or not.
Drugs or not, you have to investigate. So, I'll just call like this and I'll be like, hey, guy, how far? And because people knew me, like I was popular, I used to be a dancer, I used to do a video, I used to host red carpets and the rest. So people knew me then. I was also a hairdresser, so people knew me very well. So people knew me as a fresh kid. They knew me to be comfortable. So if I call you when we say I be too sharp before, understand? I call you and I tell you, guy, how far? I get serious problem, one thing, I dey hospital now and I know well, I beg, if you borrow me like 5K, understand? You won't reason it much.
Yeah.
You over give me the 5K and say don't bother paying back. But you feel like, for this guy to ask me.
You really need them.
So basically, if I go
really
through my
need
contact right now, I don't think there's any, because most of the contact I had then is what I still have now, thanks to Google backup. I don't think there's 95% of the contacts there, I don't build them. I don't build them back to, like, you can exhaust billing. Like, if you don't build this one, this one can start to avoid you.
move to
You know,
another
say, okay, this
place.
one a closed door, look for the next victim.
It's not can. You always exhaust.
You
them.
will always, especially once the person don't give you first time.
You.
Always exhaust.
So I said billing, I'll call. Sometimes I used to be someone, don't forget about the religious upbringing I had. So lying was not really, I considered lying a sin. So lying was not really my thing from the beginning, but because of drugs. And the funny thing is, I will construct the lie to be so well that you will never suspect.
Resist it.
You will never. Then if I did environment when be say I don't feel able to access the drug, I go forge doctor prescription. Yes, now. Forge doctor prescription, they very easy now. Because when you don't go in and out of hospital a lot, you don't know how they write them now. 2 pieces of pentazocine, you can write them. On that, you can put Dr. This, you just form one name, fake. I hope I'm not giving out endorsement scope. So
Hey.
if not, I beg edit and come out. So now the thing is, I will do that. When I run out of money, I'll look for who again. If I don't have any, so at some point I sold everything I had. That time, when Smart TV first came out, I had 60 inches. That time they like Android, being no sharp like doing that Android kind of Smart TV. Understand? I had it Sony. That's to show how comfortable I was living. I sold that television, that big 60 inches television for 15,000 naira. Now my landlord buy him. 15,000.
I really like
my family size foam, my family size mattress that I was sleeping on, I also sold it for 15,000 naira. Sold my generator, sold my freezer. See, at some point when I first got to Benin, I went to Benin with a tattered bag. At some point when I exhausted the billing, and I started roaming the street begging for money. I could remember when I was doing NYC that time, because that was in NYC when I traveled. I did my NYC here in Lagos. That's an Abu Leba. I was staying in a NCCF family house. You get, and that time I'll tell them that I have a health condition. That's why I was injected, because in there the bathroom were not sealed. That's and so male have their own bathroom, female have their own bathroom, so there's no secrecy. So when I'm there, when people see me, I'll be like, I have a health challenge and I always have to take it. So some people feel maybe it's diabetes or something like that. So they didn't really understand what was going on. So most times I was always billing my this thing. So by the time Alawi come, I'd already declared debts. Yes, I had already declared debts. But they didn't really understand what was going on. So sometimes I'll carry empty inhaler. I'll start roaming, because the NCCF house is inside an estate at Abu Leba. Listen, I will not start roaming inside the estate. I'll knock at some doors and I will like tell them that, sir, I'm a copper. And yes, I'll start acting up. I'm asthmatic and my inhaler just got finished and they have not paid us Alawi. Please, can you help me, sir? And out of pity of na copper or na this, they'll give me the money. And by the time they give me the money, I don't rush go Abu Leba Junction. You get one chemist when they that side for there. That's and drink yourself. I'll just go there, go buy. See, I can enter under the rain. Yeah?
Supplies.
Because just to go and resupply. Like that. So I said begging the streets. Then I went back to Port Harcourt. I was still doing the same thing. Understand? At this time, my body had depreciated so bad. I was looking like I was all bones. At least for the first time in my life, I had 6 packs. But the 6 packs wasn't out of workout. Just because the packs no get any other option again. But to show no flesh, they again to cover them. So I'll just go with my walking stick. So I'll now go shop by shop. So at least if this one give you 500, this one give you 200, this one give you 100, they accumulate and accumulate. And once the money complete, pap. Oh my dealer. Understand? Your dealer becomes your savior at that point in time. By the time you finish taking, the circle continues. like that. So at some point, there was this my guy. I talked to him about it. What's his name again? Ugo Oputa. So Ugo no Oputa. So he was my childhood friend, and I tried to call him to bill him, and I told him that, guy, I beg Omo, I need your help. How far? I get health challenge. I didn't really tell him the details. I beg, if you find me small money, I need to go hospital and all those kind of stuff. And based on he was seeing the signs and he was seeing everything, I snap picture on the rest. I was like, guy, right now things red for me. But if it's something that you really need help, this thing is this serious. Why not we post it on social media so that we can seek for public donations to help you go? And he didn't know the main deal involved. So I was like, social media, because not be that one be my own. My own, I find me small thing. But when I was like, no, now I will not be putting my dirty news out there. I'm like, guy, you are dying and you're talking about pride. Listen, seek for help. Then I was like, okay, he now posted it. I not giving permission. He posted it on social media. People started like showing interest, understand, some would donate and all that. Then I'd like doing like that. Then people said donating little by little. But the unfortunate thing was, because there was no supervision of the fund that was coming in. Understand? Yes.
Wait, you use donation to chop markets?
Yes, but the interesting thing be say, at least I be better small be say, at least I be the use some for treatment. See, it's difficult. Why they look me with that guilt now? See, money there your hand. You get craving come. I know say now hospital they send me. We they go to the hospital, but it just happened. You get now, but that didn't mean I didn't want help.
Understandable.
Understand? But I didn't have supervision. I was on my own. Understand? And I was angry with my family because I felt they abandoned me. But one thing about drugs is, when you're under the influence of drugs, you don't see reality and calculate things the way it is. Your way of processing and interpreting things. At that point, it was more like I was the victim.
Yes.
I didn't care about how my dad felt. Do you know what it means to raise a child in finish university, a child you believe that is going to take? I could remember most times the jokes my mom and dad used to have. Maybe if I buy something for my mom, understand, my dad will come and be like, so tomorrow, Nana, so you go get a helicopter now, you go only buy for your mother and no buy for me.
Yeah.
That's to show that he already had a concept in mind that this guy is going to make it big and will take care of both of us. And this same child is the one now. The last time I saw my dad was actually with tears in his eyes before he died. That man never saw me in my recovered state. And to be honest, that's the greatest regret I have. I really don't care about the scars on my body right now. I really don't care about the money or time or years I've lost. Just how my dad is not here to see me healed again. I'll never be able to. That man will never be able to see me again smile.
Sorry about that.
Funny enough, he died of high blood pressure. And I heard he asked for me several times. He wanted me to see him, wanted me to visit. Just busy being too stupid, being stubborn and being angry. No understanding how he also felt. And now, I'll never hear him again. Sorry.
It's okay.
Fine.
It's okay.
His mic, please.
It's okay.
So basically,
No worry, just wait. Just calm. No worry, wait. It's okay. It's okay.
the last time I talked to them, I was on the phone.
See,
And yet I was still charging him and angry at him, like, you abandoned me to die. Because I did a Thanksgiving. He heard about it. And he was like, oh, I heard you have done Thanksgiving. I'm happy that you're better now. I'm proud of you. I knew you were good. And all that. I was like, oh, so now you did talk. I don't even speak properly to him. I never really understood his pain as a father, what it meant to watch your son. This man was, the last time I saw him, he was crying. He was crying as I limped away with walking stick. And I guess the imagination in his head would have been, is this AB? Is this AB? And funny enough, all this could have been avoided with just antibiotics. But there's some things I can't change. I can only look forward. I can only work better to become the man he wished I could become. And that's I'm trying my best to do what I do. So,
Are you still taking therapy?
Yes, I still go for group therapy. I still have my therapist. But
How often?
well, recently not so often.
You have to keep
Why?
it up, man.
Okay, this is why. Because at this point, nobody's faring for me. See, one thing they don't talk about when you in rehab is rehab.
Mhm.
After I come out of rehab,
Post.
post. After I come out of rehab, what next? Because people don't see you the same way anymore. Your family don't treat you the same way anymore. Society don't see you the same way, especially people that know. So most times that pressure comes on you. Nobody wants who wants to help you with money again when they know you used to be an addict. So right now, at this point, that's why you asked me my injury I've not healed for 4 years, because I could barely even keep dressing the wound. Like I almost left the hospital on credit, my last rehab, because I could not afford. I could remember my mom. Oh God. I remember my mom when I was trying to raise the last hospital bill, and she was counting 50 naira, and all to be able to raise 50,000 naira to add to the hospital bill. The hospital had to waive off the bill for me to go. So coming out, it was just my church, Spirit and Life Bible Church, and I really want to appreciate them. They stood for me. They stood for me. They helped me through rehab. They brought my family, reunited me with my family. I can remember when they brought my mom and my sister to the hospital when I was there, and I was angry. Like, why did you bring them here? You know, that kind of anger of, don't worry, I'm going to show you people that. But it was a good thing last, because having that support system was healthy for me. So that was just it. And I couldn't fare for myself continuously after rehab because the stigma was already there. Nobody was willing to help. So I had to go back to my handwork. My pastor helped me to do upgrade because unlike before that, they used to sew wig on top hair. Now wigs. Sorry, they used to sew weave on. Now wigs than they do. So he helped me to go back instead of me being idle. That's why I told you that this last time it was most of those gaps were filled. I was not idle. Immediately I came out, I told him that, sir, I've always had passion for hair and all this. Can you help me? So he helped enroll me for me to go back and learn again. I can remember when I went to the salon to ask the lady that I want to, like, how much to learn and all that. She was thinking maybe it was for my younger sister or for my girlfriend. So when I told her it was me, there was this shock on her face. But I learned, and that's what I'm using to hustle right now. And most times, I'm so busy because that's where I pay my rent, that's where I pay my bills, that's where I feed. So most times, I'm more focused on trying to raise money for myself, trying to fare for myself. So most times, I had to forfeit going to clinic, because if you want to go rehab now, customer go call you, say then they shop and all that. So that's why I've not been, because dressing of this leg is more like every two days I have to budget like 3 to 4,000 naira.
Okay. But apart from like not being able to go, do you have an accountability partner? Is there somebody in your life that you account to, or somebody
Yes.
okay,
My pastor.
okay,
Till today. My pastor is. And I was answerable to him because I could remember when I first met him, the thing I told him was, sir, I'm not going to relate with you as a pastor based on the previous experiences I've had. The rejections I've had where I'll go and meet pastors for help that I'm an addict, and the next thing the expression changes. That expression changes, there's this judgmental attitude. Now I can't realize, say, if some pastors pray for you in work, the pastors they powerful, but if some them pray for you in no work, you no get fit. Believe in the grace upon the commission, believe in the grace upon the commission. That's what I heard most times. But this man, I told him that, sir, Pastor Divine, that's his name. I told him that, sir, if I'm to relate with you, I'll relate with you as a friend, not as a pastor. He was like, sure, no problem. I explained everything. He was like, okay. And he said, like, he should help. He tried to process. He called some members of the church that work in the hospital, and they teamed up to get me help. Even raised donation from the church too. And I was total stranger. So that gratitude made me not, I remembered how I failed the first person that believed in me. I didn't want to repeat it again. I didn't want, because that same period that was this period I would have attempted my fourth suicide. The first suicide one attempt, this in hypo, drink. I drink and finish. I vomit too, tire. I didn't die. Then, because of the inconvenience of that one, I was like, I needed something stronger, but at the same time, I was scared of the inconvenience. Don't forget, my brain now don't they used to only enjoyment. So anything that comes with inconvenience, I don't want them. And I said to take sniper, but the quantity I took was not much because I was hoping that I no one go through much inconvenience. I took that one. That was a different ballgame entirely. That's almost. But at some point, I was angry that he didn't succeed in killing me. The third one was a serious overdose. I took 10 mil syringe, tied my neck. The artery that was here, I traced it. I was looking at a mirror. I choked it in, held the string, and used force to hit it that I could feel pop in my chest. Within seconds, I passed out. Only for me to wake up hours later. Everywhere was white, and I was thinking, we don't finally reach heaven. Oh yeah, because at this point, I was no longer praying for recovery. His own, he'd be saying to us, say, God, if you bring me from this, I will never do this again, and it's happened.
I will serve you forever.
Forever. My own, I do plenty promise. Understand?
Yeah, but you now, based on the fact of familiarity.
Exactly. Understand? See, finish can come in. No, but the thing is, I actually vowed, I will never do this again. Understand? So I prayed and like, at some point I was like, God, because I knew God is not that wicked. So I felt it was my fault. That's why God was not answering me. I was like, God, what kind of sin have I committed? Now my own bad past. So at some point, my prayer was no longer recovery, like God heal me. His own, he was better now. God heal him. My own prayer point was very simple. God, just give me a quick death.
You know, I wanted to ask him
Me?
from some things that you've said. Something came to my mind. I wanted to ask him because he's been sober for longer than you are.
Not only sober, I've over 350 drug addicts have been saved through
you. But I'm going to focus on your sobriety. What year was the hardest for you that you could have? Did you have any near relapse experience? Like you were almost going to go back?
Let me tell you something. When I got saved, the first thing that happened was that 4 days after, I was in the front of the church. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, all my money is blood money. I wouldn't like to mention those things because it can hinder me from traveling and all that, you know. So I called my bank in New Jersey and I told them to write up my account. They should give the money to charity, $67 million. I'm not going to mention where it came from, you know. For 9 years, I was homeless in Lagos. I was squatting. And anywhere I squat, as soon as they find out that I was a fella boy, they kick me out. But for those 9 years, I was preaching in Molwes, Damfos, joints, from Mushin, Akala to Lawansin Bola, Jarababola, Ujuino in Lagos Island, behind Alesh Hotel, K2 Mark, anywhere they smoke. I was going there. And of course, prostitutes. I've seen many prostitutes go back home and go back to school through my administration. And then I remember that for the first 8 months, I could not find 50 naira to shave and barb. I'm saying this because of Christians that think that, no man, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10 says, the God of all grace who have called you after ye have suffered for a while, will strengthen and establish and settle you. Why is it that we don't want to think about that? And I tell people that it's not suffering, it's training. I just had to go through all that because I was an animal, man. I had no heart now. You know, there are many girls in town that have my scar. Yeah.
Scars from what? What did you do to them?
I was a very jealous lover. And all the girls were all over me. Think about when I was 20, 25, 28.
And you must have been handsome.
Playing music. The guy in charge. you know. So if I catch my girlfriend with a guy, I will bring bottle and scar your face, man.
Wow.
Something for you to remember me forever. Anytime you stare at the mirror, you know. So, I mean, 9 years. Well, I kept doing that. The first program I had for prostitutes, I didn't have money, I didn't have anything. I wore a Wrangler jeans, a denim shirt, and a Nike canvas for 1.5 years. It got to a time that I was preaching more. When I come down, some fine girls follow me and say, you this man, every day you are preaching inside bus. Tell your God to change your shirt and trouser. But I held my ground because of the prayer I made. Deliver me from drugs. I'll serve you. Of course, I faced temptations, right? Plenty temptations. Money temptations. Money temptations will come. Money temptations will come, right? The people that wanted to pull me back into all the bad deals I had. No, man, I'm changed. You understand? And one particular afternoon, I was sharing tracks and I saw the last, I said I was with 3 prostitutes when I got saved. The night I got saved, they went out to hustle. When they came back in the morning, when they knocked, I opened the door. As they were trying to hug me, I said, stop. The Keji you left here yesterday night is not the one you are seeing. And they started laughing. Like, what do you mean? You didn't grow taller or fatter or whatever. And one of them tried to hug me. I gave her a dirty slap. And they know me. You know my names? I'm called the innocent warrior. And I'm called the last born of Lucifer on the street. So 2 of them left. The one that stayed last, I saw her when I was sharing track. When she saw me, she threw away her face, so I blocked her. And she looked at me and said, Keji, look at you. Fine boy, look at what you have turned to. You are carrying Bible. And she spat on me. These are girls that used to spend my dollars and or whatever and I come on top. Well, so when she spat on me, she walked away. I looked at myself. That would have been the day I would have backslidden. I looked at myself. I said, wow, let me go back to Fela's house.
Hey.
I took a bus. When I got to Maryland, my Bible was still with me on tracks. And I heard 2 Corinthians chapter 4 from verse 15, 16, 17. And one of the scriptures says, though your outward man is wasting away, your inner man is being renewed. This momentary affliction is for a while. When I read that scripture, I wanted to come down and go back. The Holy Spirit said I should go to Kalakuta. I went to Shrine. The fella was not dead. I went to Kalakuta. When I got there, Keji. Immediately I entered, Baba. Everybody called me Baba Keji. I was saying, Baba. Bring Igbo for him. I said, I know they smoke. No, we know Baba drink. I bring Gouda. I said, I don't drink. The one said, no, Baba must shark now. Go bring Charlie. I said, I know they take Charlie. I went upstairs. I sat down. So somebody went into the room. I'm sure you know Kalakuta Museum. That's Fela's house that they turned to museum. So his house there. Somebody went in the room and said, Fela Keji is here. He has not seen me for a while. So people were seated in the parlor, you know. He came in, said, Keji. How you there? Sat down. I said, fine, Fela. He said, I know say you go come back. And he said, Fela, I no come back. I just came to see you.
Sure.
I'd like you to know that a power stronger than you has taken me over. He said, which power be that? I said, Jesus. He said, will you shut up? What do you mean by that? He got up. What do you know about Jesus? My father was a reverend, blah, blah, and he walked away. So I brought out tracts. I was trying to share tracts. Somebody went to tell me, came and said, Keji, you are sharing tracts in my house. What's wrong with you? If it's not you, I just collect my tracts and I left. So there's a place of training. I always say that. Every one of us will pass through it. Everyone. It's not only just drug addicts. God is in the business of molding people to be like Him. You don't try to be dodging it. And mind you, I'm not a religious person. No. You can see that I was not saved in church. And I said, tell, now ain't God saved me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like, but there are certain things in the Bible that are just there. You don't try to cut corners. You hurt yourself eventually.
Very true. So, Baba Keji and Abraham, where we don't reach, we don't cover plenty grounds, but I go one more touch specifics, and so that we go wrap.
Sorry,
Okay,
please.
Yeah.
There was a place that is very vital in my recovery that I was about to go into before she
Please,
actually
please,
interrupted
do
me.
Do so.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's about that last suicide attempt I made.
Okay.
Because that was a vital tipping point in my recovery. After I injected and I opened my eyes and I realized everything was getting white, I thought that maybe I was in heaven, I was ready to await judgment. I gradually opened my eyes totally and found that I was still in my room. I was very angry. I was very angry. I was not shouting at God, pointing hand like, what kind of nonsense be this? Heal me, you don't want to heal me. Kill me, you don't want to kill me. What kind of suffering is this one? Then a voice entered into my head. I was like, Abraham, do you know if you die now, you would have suffered in this life and still suffer after life? Meaning you have lost both ways. But as long as you're still alive, at least there's still a glimpse of hope. Since the life is no longer useful to you, why not just give it to God? After all, you have nothing else to do with the life. So I didn't actually give my life back to God as how God, unlike him that had an inspiration. To me, it was more like I was a useless vessel, nothing to do with myself. God, shey you dey look for person abi or ya carry. And the best way I knew to serve God was what I used to do when I was still a teenager, when I was still young as a child, which was going to schools to preach. But this time around, I was no longer talking about just Jesus. I was not talking about drugs. So to me, at that point, I've already lost hope of recovery. At this point, so my mind was, okay, maybe if I go back to something another time, God says I don't do enough, He will give me debt. So I said going to schools to start talking about drugs. Then I've not recovered then. No. I was sick, even carry the drugs inside bag. Understand? I'll see link with my go meet the principal of the school, explain that, hey, I'm a drug addict, it's drug that did this to me and all that. Please, I need that opportunity. Because to me, I was like, at least before I die, let it be that I give something to life. Let it be that I made an impact. I don't want to fade away from existence. Let me make little impact. So I'll go to those schools, I will talk, and students will be crying all the time, feeling sad, and I'll just be talking. I'll go to places, I'll just be talking about drugs like that. And before I knew it was as if doors started opening. Because sometimes his own was, understand, like, that happens. But my own miracle, because I think sometimes people take granted the gift of men. They don't understand that man naturally is selfish. Anybody when ready, put hand for pocket. That money, if he use and buy beer for himself, he owes you no obligation. But for people to go ahead and be willing to invest into your life, it can only take God. And before I knew it, genuine help started coming in. And this time around, it was not vague, it was strategic. That if the right things started falling in place, hope started resurrecting. That was how I got help. And before I knew it, I didn't still stop. I was still going to schools. I was still talking about drugs. I was still going to places. I was now started going to radio stations. I'll go to radio stations. I would speak. That time, if I enter the radio station, or TV station, the gas open the place so that the person, the presenter, feel breathes. I understand. I'll just be talking. I'll talk and talk. There's sometimes when I finish talking, sometimes the radio presenters might just shout out for, like, in case you want to assist him for treatment. Sometimes I'll go to these schools and the principals will be like, they will give me like 5K for transport and all that. And I'll just like that. Before I knew it, that was how I got that last admission. And in that admission, because I hated the way I was being treated. I hated the way you go on buy mama put, you home money, woman will not be telling you, I bet she go that side, she go that side. Understand? And you are trying to explain, I won't buy food, and over all that customer will like, okay, you shift now. It was as if you being even allowing me to be close to you was you doing me a favor. That was how bad. Like, you not showing me that I'm smelling was you like being kind to me. That time, during that COVID-19 period, when I want to enter a bus, I will have to pay for 2 seats. Most of the because I was not traveling from Port Harcourt to Benin for treatment. To get treatment. This time around, there were not people in my life to supervise what was going on. I now relocated to Benin. At this point, if I want to enter a bus, I got paid for the 2 seats for front. It was only one transport company that agreed to be carrying me. Even after COVID-19, it was only them because of my condition. It was inconveniencing other. Bro, when I be there flights, they come from Benin to this place. I can't the reason I'm saying. Imagine saying before one be still the smell. How therefore allow me enter flight? That was just the thought that was almost playing all through. And by the way, thanks so much for this team. Thanks so much for making everything so comfortable for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Baby, thank you so much.
Okay, one thing I want you to do, I want you to Google a particular drug, crocodile.
Crocodile.
Crocodile. Krokodil, like crocodile. Now, why I want you to Google, when you Google it, you type photos. Because of all these scars it's showing. Crocodile is one of the latest drugs that I'm so scared I do not enter Nigeria. Because like I told you guys, I go to drug communities. Crocodile eats your flesh from inside out like this until the bones are showing. Have you found it?
Even on Google.
They don't even want to show you. The images are blood, though. They are not showing it on Google.
But you can still access, and the images are very gory.
If you see it, crocodile is 10 times cheaper than cocaine. And is 10 times more potent than cocaine. It's the cheapest drug, it's the most destructive. It eats flesh. So if those pictures, I don't know, they are blooded. When I discovered crocodile about 4 years ago, I'm a therapist.
Oh boy.
You have seen, Abby? Yeah. So you see, nursery schools, primary schools, universities, all over Lagos. All the time I got papers from Ambody then, you know. But let me tell you this, because people are watching.
Yes, please, sir.
This drug thing is not going away so soon.
I swear.
Why? It's $1 billion
Business. It's an industry.
Now, nobody want to talk about it. And because I'm saying this thing here now, they can tell many stations that they should not let me come and talk. But I don't care. I was trained by somebody. Fella trained me to just speak the truth as it is. It's not going anywhere because people make billions and millions of dollars from it. And there are barons that sponsor a lot of things in the society, both government and all that. You can't just shut their business. You can't just shut their business. But however, what is the government doing about this? It's no longer an epidemic, it's a pandemic.
It's a pandemic.
It's just, if you doubt me, one of the Thursdays, let me take you. You see 11, 12-year-old boys doing colos, doing SK.
11, 12-year-olds.
I will tell
Even
you.
lower than that.
You will see them.
Primary school, I've entered primary school stage now.
You will see them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Ha.
You will see them live. Do you understand? And in that same community, people are doing a lot of bad business. Like there are barons that old men, 70, 75 are coming and they are giving them 12-year-old girls to sleep with and all that. You know? One of the communities, there are policemen there with their guns, but they don't arrest them. Their job there is to maintain peace.
Hey.
And the government knows. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there are some people that know that they are not doing anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? So I just feel what I would just say is that unless there's a concerted effort, this thing is not going anywhere. Okay? When a kilo of ice methamphetamine will give you $13,000 on New York Broadway. And that, what is 1 kilo? Small thing like this.
People are just normal dealer when they streets alone. There was this young man in Benin, understand? When I usually pass, I know him as a dealer. And one more thing, please, he's saying industry, but if you notice something, there's an industry because there is demand. Understand? Yes. And funny enough, these dealers are no longer hiding in the bush. They sell among our neighborhoods. Some of them even pay landlords, understand, for them to stay in their compound and sell.
Maybe they just discover a factory of ice.
The one they caught 3 Mexican in collaboration inside the bush.
In the bush, yes. 3 Mexicans.
And that's when they are just cooking it.
How many
that's
billions they even discovered there? The drug they manufacture.
$360 million.
Yeah, so imagine. And this is someone that you need to go, you need to do 9 to 5. But you forgot
that they also saw a factory inside VGC 2 years ago.
Hey.
Which people live in VGC?
So these dealers are among us. And we are in our neighborhoods and does this thing. But most times, the orientation that comes with it is, thank God, maybe they useless themselves. Now, nobody won't useless themselves. You just want to profit from it. But understand one thing. Once one dealer dey your neighborhood, all the children in that neighborhood is at risk. You know why? Remember the example of elephants I gave earlier? Good. Meaning you are not exposing them to these informations. Please permit me to say that there's this campaign I'm trying to push out. It's about sickle cell patients. Don't forget, I told you the injection I was taking. The chemist told me that this same injection that almost killed me have killed so many sickle cell patients.
Of course. I've had sickle cell patient that the parents will come and be crying, he's addicted to it, but he needs it to treat himself, and the boy is not addicted. So the boy don't even wait for he goes to buy for himself.
And most times, the beginning, most times the parents endorse it. Because most of the sickle cell children have a way of blackmailing the parents to feel like, now you cause them. Why you go marry my father to bomb me? So these parents most times live with that guilt when they see the children in pain and feel like, oh, why? If I knew, I would. So out of that guilt, they want to do everything to make the child comfortable. And because they see that pentazocine as now for chemists that they buy them. So the child goes to buy it every time as my medicine for crisis.
I've treated a nurse who got addicted to this drug. A nurse. Yeah,
even doctors.
A nurse. What happened was that I went to a church to talk about drugs, and her son was there. And that day I went to talk about symptoms. How do you know that somebody's on drugs? You know, those are some of the things we have, you know, since we are trying to educate, you understand. But then, you know, and then the son, after I finished, called the pastor and told his pastor that all those things that man was saying, I see all of them in my mom. Yeah, I see all of them in my mom, you know. And then call his mom to see me. So we got talking. At the end of the day, she confessed. And I took her to a rehab, a Christian rehab,
You know, House Material, let me tell a story, please. Permit me. When I first joined the podcast, we would come and, we would talk for long hours. I wasn't used to talking for long hours. And when I get home, I would have a headache. And I would take paracetamol. And I would sleep. After a while, the paracetamol was no longer working for me.
The word for it, he said it's called tolerance.
Yeah. So
when you take a drug for a while, your body will not tolerate it. You don't feel it again.
The paracetamol stopped
so you
working
want something else.
For me. And then my friend came back from the US and he said he uses Tylenol.
Tylenol is strong.
It's very good for him. I said, okay, give me Tylenol. Very sharp. So whenever I come to the podcast and I go home, I would have a headache and then I would take Tylenol. I would just feel so good. I will now shower, I will sleep. At some point, I was no longer, and this is what I wanted to share with you people. I was no longer now waiting to feel the headache. So I have Tylenol in my bag. So you didn't know this was material. So anytime I get home, I'm taking the Tylenol and I'm taking it. Whether I'm having a headache or not. So I'm drinking it because I'm expecting the headache. Okay. Now I could not deal without it. So one day my sister walked into my room and said, isn't it? that Tylenol that you just bought is always finished. It feels like Tylenol is now your podcast medicine. Once you just come back, every Thursday medicine, you're taking it. She said, give it to me today. You are not taking it. Drink water and sleep. I drank water that day. And I woke up the next morning. That was how I stopped taking Tylenol
now,
every Thursday.
So now,
Lucky
what
you.
is drug addiction? What happened is that you form a habit out of taking that Tylenol,
Exactly.
right? And that's what
yeah.
drug addiction is, you forming a habit out of something.
Yeah, you just kept it because most times what we talk about is just cocaine.
Yes.
I mean, it can happen with paracetamol.
Paracetamol.
It can-
Anything.
See, there's one
Coffee.
there's this
Coffee,
there's
right?
this myth that I want to clear out there. There's this orientation the society have that if you're a drug addict or you're using drugs, you're irresponsible, you're a tout and all that. It means you don't have proper home training or you're morally deficient. That is not correct. Because addiction is not a respecter of religion,
Or status.
orientation, background, rich, poor. It does not respect anyone.
Just need to touch your
Any
body.
loophole can put you for your lucky part is you had a sister that was sensitive enough to observe. So imagine she did not come in. By now, what would not be
I go be
happening? In,
Tylenol-
For Richard,
Tylenol ambassador.
nice, they fight
and funny
Tylenol.
enough, do you know the most dangerous part is she had legit
Legitimate
reasons.
reason.
Let me tell you a story. I was sitting in my office one day, and MD, one of these phone people, I don't want to mention which one, phone lines, drove, the driver brought her to my office, a woman, and she entered. She said, I saw your rehab address online, and I started tracing it. I went somewhere, and I said, oh, so what's happening? She sat down. He said, it's codeine. I said, your son? He said, not my son, me. I said, what happened? He said, I'm an MD, my work. Every time I finish, I get tired and all that, and then I can't sleep and all that. So my friend told me I should take a spoon of codeine. So I started with a spoon. You see, after a while, a spoon could not do. I graduated to 2 spoons. And then before you know it, a bottle a day. You see, right now, even if I take 3 bottles, which is what I'm taking now, the sleep will not come, whatever. That's tolerance. Her body got used. Now, the first girl I treated for codeine was 2011. She was from Babcock. And she was her father's favorite child. So her father had passed on. I'm just trying to share with you that many things can just make you get into drugs. When somebody dies, people feel pain, right? Pain of losing somebody. So this girl lost her father. She went home for the burial, came back to school, private hostel, and then she couldn't sleep. Because she says she tried to sleep, she just see her father. So her friend, a girl too, who was sleeping beside her, now said, why are you not sleeping? He said, I don't know, I'm just worried about my father. The girl said, I will give you something, you sleep. Gave her a spoonful of codeine. She slept fine. The next day, she was one that asked in the night. The third day, she asked. The fourth day, the lady said, let me show you where you buy it. And that was it.
That is always the trick.
I
The
was-
person they introduce you most times go on and free.
I was also in the church. I finished speaking about symptoms and all that when her sister husband now said, come, what this man is saying, I think that's what is happening to your sister. So they brought her to me and her case was handled. All right? However, I am a faith-based therapist. Because there are some places when they are treating you for drug, they start to give you injections and all that. And most of the time, some of the treatment you get, they will not help you. You only end up stopping street drugs and
Another
becoming
one.
addicted to pharmaceutical drugs. Because they now place you on prescription, like buy this, every month and come and refill. And that's not it. So in faith-based, the first thing is that we deal with the spiritual, and then we use teachings. Our lectures, we have lecturers. Our lectures are based on spiritual and motivational. because a drug addict's mind is bastardized.
True.
The way a drug addict thinks about money is not the way a normal person. The way a drug addict thinks about help is not the same person. A drug addict has a mindset of, what will I call it again? What is the name of this thing? Entitlement mentality. Whether you like it or not, you must help me. You marry for me, you build house for me, you do everything.
Everybody owes you.
Yes, you understand? Everybody owe me something. So use the motivational speaking to help them rebuild their mind, and books and all that will help them and all that, while we have taken care of the spirit. And as a drug addict, there are many other things you have done. You heard him say he has gone to Babalawo. There are many things you have gone. You have gone to involve yourself with the spiritual. So those things need to be dealt with. That's why most people relapse. You have not dealt with some things. When you walk into a Babalawo's house, sir, when you are leaving, you are not coming out ordinarily. A demon has entered you. Believe it or not. You are going to have to fight with that for the rest of your life unless it is dealt with.
Sorry to interrupt you. Pertaining to what you just said now, it just occurred to me. Because there was an instant, a level I got to, I said injecting my testicles and my
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yes, there are people
Yes.
like
And it was shortly after I did that, going to that Babalawo to look for solution,
that it happened.
that it happened.
Exactly.
My desperation became worse.
You
I
must.
could no longer find vein. I will hold my testicles and squeeze it for those tiny veins.
Veins will come out.
Understand?
My
Veins will pop
God.
out. And there was a time I injected my private parts to the extent it became so swollen, almost as big as my hand.
Oh.
The last story I will share with you is I finished in that area emotion. As I was going, one pastor called me and said, please come. I think my landlady is on drugs. So the landlady rented the down floor. Then she was in a whole duplex. So I entered. He said, this is where she lives. I entered. I saw the picture of the landlady. Of course, she went to school in Pennsylvania. You graduated and all that. So I just said, who is in this house? You say, I'm here. I say, where are you? You say, come forward a little bit, take the staircase, I'm upstairs. And I climbed the staircase. And where are you? I'm here. Then I opened the door. She was on the bed. If you see the bed, if you see the things she hung everywhere, bags and all that, cobwebs, everything, like under the bridge, man. It was when she spoke, pure American phonetics. So I told her, please come downstairs, let's talk. Sat down and I was talking to her, telling her, blah, blah, blah. How did she get into drugs? When you do surgery, and then maybe after the surgery, you have serious pain. There's a certain injection they give you.
Or label.
Okay?
Anesthesia.
Yes.
That injection, they are supposed to use it to treat you after 11 days or so. If the pain does not go, they should stop it. What now happened is that very pretty lady, the doctor treating her now fell in love with her. Are you hearing story? This is, and instead of him to stop, but he stopped injecting her. He now said, I'm not supposed to be giving you this medicine, but I will give you, but I will not inject you. I will teach you how to inject yourself. Man. So as I was talking to her, she was saying, yes, but I don't want to, I don't want to go. I say, why? He said, I can't tell you. I say, why? He said, because I'm a woman, you are a man. I said, okay, don't worry. Then I left. The next day, I called one female pastor to go with me. So when we got there, she was waiting. And I said, how are you? So I was talking to her. But that first day, as I was talking to her, I started crying. So when she saw me crying, she said, why are you crying? I said, because of you. He said, because of me? He said, but you don't know me. I said, but God made you now. I said, is that not your photograph on the wall? I said, look at you. That was why she then said, I can't tell you, you are a man. So that's why I brought the woman the next day. So when I came the next day, I said, okay, this is a woman. And I told the woman to follow her. I never knew. The first time she came that first day, the way she was walking, when somebody have wounds, maybe boil here, the way you walk, that's how she was walking. She was walking like her hands like that. By the time that woman went with her into the toilet and they came back, you see this thing you have all over your body. There is no space in all her thighs, down like that. Holes, needle holes, all her arms and everything. So I just told her, there's no problem. I took her to rehab. In fact, the rehab, the first thought maybe she has AIDS. But it was just needle injection.
Yeah.
She
When you go for
fixed-
rehab, one of the first things they actually test you for is for AIDS.
It's HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
So they tested her. She was not HIV positive. So she stayed in the rehab. They were taking her to hospital. They treated all the wounds and everything. Today she's happily married. She's even a minister. But one of the things I don't like about it, come and talk about it. Say no. My husband said I should never mention it.
No, see, that is the very reason why I believe God is actually, like you said, grooming me.
Yeah.
Understand? It's because if possibly I started this campaign when I've recovered, maybe ego and pride would have come into play.
Yes, now.
Understand? He started when I had nothing to lose. So automatically he just turned because I could remember there was one time I was so tempted to commit suicide again after that last time, and I dared Satan, and I was like, I did a live video that day, and on Facebook I was like, I will not die. I'm not going to give up, though everybody have given up on me. My life is going to be a living testimony. And for me to be sitting here on this chair where dignitaries, men of values have sat, sitting next to a man, a legend like this, with husband material, we say only for social media.
No talk too much.
Understand?
Bring her down.
Now let
It
me
can
tell
only be
you.
God.
Revelation chapter 12. He said they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony.
Exactly, because immediately I started, I now developed this sense of purpose. Bro, before that time, I the sheet the piece for the same space.
Hey.
Because I could not use the same toilets my neighbors were using. So what now happened is, when I want shit, I go look for waterproof. Then for night, I go look for you to go through
Short
them.
put.
Understand?
They call her short
Church food.
Then if I want to
How did you
urinate,
know
so
that?
I was eating, urinating, stooling, I still the same place. And to me, who talks about hygiene when you're a junkie? Me won't go repeat
Junkie.
the same needle all over until the needle go blunt.
Oh, Jim.
So we thank God for restoration. You are 4 years clean. You are Baba Keji, 32
32
years
years
3
clean.
decades and 2. And still
He's an
counting.
ancestor.
We thank God Almighty. So we won't wrap now.
Oh, yeah.
But I go make we end with advice. So no need to go back to what I don't talk about, waiting religion or waiting religious institutions supposed to help people.
No.
You say you be Jesus boy growing up. You said daddy was a chief imam
Yeah.
growing up. So you people from your from the story you have shared, it is clear that religious institutions and these people who are leaders there should not look at a person from the position or the perspective of being judgmental. It should be from, okay, this is a problem. Let's see how we
solve
can
it.
help you and support you good. Now, more touch on 2 things before we go. 32 years free, 4 years free. A person who is watching this episode now that has come to the point where the person says, I don't want to do this again. I want you briefly, just advise the person, sharp, maybe 60 seconds. What in that person is supposed to do right now, this moment, so that he no go relapse?
No, be say in they take drug. He can't say no want to do
And
it
he don't
again.
say no, do
don't
again.
Yeah, if you talk so no me say go stop now. He no talk say no do many times. So if you are still doing drugs and you are watching me and you are tired, the first thing is that you look for help. Okay? First step, look for a psychotherapist that will counsel you. Then through the counseling, the psychotherapist will find out whether you can be delivered through psychotherapy, which is essentially talk therapy, because we can actually have talked many people out of drugs, right? But if you have gone so deep that psychotherapy can't handle it, the same psychotherapy will refer you to a rehabilitation center. But if you ask for my advice, I will urge you to go for where you will get both spiritual and motivational nourishment, not just treatment, because there are certain rehabs, nothing apart from take this your tablet, eat your food, go and play table tennis, go and swim, go to the gym. Man, it's more than all that too, because when you are in the rehab, you are outside the market, but immediately you come out, you are in the market. So seek for help.
All right, Abraham. Okay, so I know say the thing go join. I want to make you speak to young people, especially students, because studies don't show, like for Lagos, say 37% of students don't admit to using tramadol and codeine. So I want you to speak to young people.
All right. First, in case you use drugs and you actually won't stop, to me, I feel the first step to take is forgive yourself. Very important. Because there's a way Satan uses guilt against you. That's why the Bible calls him accuser of the brethren. Understand? Ingo always want guilt trip you. And most times, it's easy to relapse when you're vulnerable emotionally. And also, that thing when you call cruise, no forget, nobody they come up, they thought say, when I grow up in the future, I would like to be a junkie. As I talk to you now, 10 years of my life, because after my rehab, after I come out, I got to wait for a while to raise money before I do my surgery. Understand? So I've only been normal without drugs and all that for a year. Before then, treatment upon treatment upon treatment to recover. So imagine where my mates, they marry, they get children, they build their career. Me, my life was wasting away. So carry for mind, say no matter how much your family don't invest in your life, no matter how much dreams you have, look at him. He was soaring the world. He was touring the world. But just one drug where you get hooked to, fit destroy you. And I go summarize with this, and it's something I repeat often. Most of us agree, say that there is God, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. Even as a pagan, we all agree that there is a divine being out there. And we all agree that divine being is perfect and it doesn't make mistake. Because this is what I want to talk now in the area of insecurity. Like he said, one of my major problems then was I had low self-esteem.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Now, and which I believe so many people, they struggle with the same thing. And it's one of the things that causes young people to go into this. Think about if God indeed doesn't make mistake, out of all the planets you get, choose planet Earth. Out of all the continents for planet Earth, choose Africa or anywhere when you watch from. And out of all the countries in Africa, choose Nigeria or any country where I'll use myself for example. Choose Nigeria. Out of all the states in Nigeria, choose Edo State. Out of all the local governments for Edo State, choose East and Southeast. And out of all the places in East and Southeast, choose Ewohimi. And out of all the families for them to choose my papa and my mama, my siblings, for me to be born at that point in time. Doesn't that tell you that is the most perfect place in the whole of existence for you to come out from? That's to show you how unique you are, that God will never have another you. You know why? You're one in the whole of existence. Not be forever, the whole of existence. You know why? There will never be another Abraham that was born to the same parents, in the same community, the same time, had the same siblings, went to the same school, had the same experience. Like this again, there will never be. That is how unique you are. So why would you bring yourself so low to compare your uniqueness with that of another? Trust the person that have the manuscripts. We came to this life without any manual, but that doesn't mean we doesn't have a guidance. Thank you.
Powerful. So you can follow at Keji Hamilton. Across all social media platforms.
Exactly.
I think he has something coming up.
And expect my music.
Agbaya
people.
Okay.
Agbaya people mess this guy up now.
So I beg, make una go on. For example, we'll just show Oga Keji Hamilton say our community for the Honest Bunch. We know they play. Mona go for bombard them for Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Just for that in latest post wearing the dance for that Yagbaya people.
Yeah.
Tell them say that from Honest Bunch. Now I'm
Came to show
come
love.
and I love them for waiting they do, especially with the work when House of Joy Drug Rehabilitation Center too.
Oh,
they
you
do.
know about that?
Yes, to help people. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Abraham, I beg, share your maybe social media.
Okay, both
information.
on Facebook and Instagram,
Okay.
I'm Stet Abraham.
Stet Abraham.
STET Abraham.
Okay, Stet Abraham. Make una also go show Stet Abraham love.
Some
and you can
love,
send
yeah.
the DM if you want information, if you would want him to also come and speak and educate people. Because people when don't live the life, now them go fit and they're willing to come out, use themselves as example. Now them go fit correct people when they're around you. And remember, you can raise your children to be morally upright, the best. Now you be the best in raising children. The ones when they are around you, when they not raised well, they feel influence your children
spoil
and
them.
put them for serious problem. This is not a case of God forbid bad thing. My case is different. My family will not happen. These are issues that we are faced in our society.
Transportation.
And if
transportation
people like
without-
this, if people like this are sharing their experience, we should listen. The other thing you should listen and pay attention to is CD care. If you want to buy your gadgets, your appliances, then get plan wey go allow you to pay small.
See the care they share.
See the care they share. As you dey pay small, the midpoints they will carry the thing come give you. They no go add 10 naira to that money. They go through the stress for you. Then go the market. Then go draw CD care shirt. Then go CD care go bring the thing come. No put one single kobo to that money in perfect condition. So what are you waiting for? Go the CD care way. So ladies and gentlemen, remember Stet Abraham and KG STET Abraham and KG Hamilton. Show them love. Let
Yes.
them know that our community, the Honest Bunch podcast, will be family.
Be tight.
A round of applause for our guests, please. Thank you so much. We're very, very grateful.
Thank you.
God bless you.